What's going on, everybody? This is Ash on Comics doing a live stream. It's been a while. I got some friends of mine. What's going on, everybody? Whoa, fucking bullshit. I got my boys Bats with me. And
Yo, what's up?
Yo.
Uh, Eric, turn off your computer.
Just mute.
Turn off the volume.
I did.
Hey, let's start this over. Hey, everyone, I'm Ash on Comics. I got my boys with me, Sergeant Bats, Eric Breen, and we're doing the first crappy stream of Comicsgate Live. What's going on, Bats and Breen?
This is Candygate live.
Oh,
Is this Candygate Live, though, or is it only for old people?
Only for old people.
Well, you got Eric in there. I wasn't sure what's going on. Sergeant Bats, he seems like he's old, too. I mean, only old people like sucking on... Hey, only old people like sucking on gummy bears.
Who invited the fucking kid?
Really? How did he get here?
Oh my god.
He just came out of nowhere. You're like, I'm here with my friends, and he's just like, hey guys, I just fucking hate gummy bears. And you're like, what the hell just happened?
So apparently we have the real Dr. Venkman in the house. Decided to pirate the stream. Welcome, Dr. Venkman.
I can't let Eric be in there by outnumbered.
I just wondered how the volume on my phone turned. I turned it down and it went up by itself.
Okay, so we have an equal amount of Candygate here. We got Team Gummy and Team Turd Eaters.
Wow. Let's try to keep this clean here, okay?
I was.
There's nothing clean about Milky Way.
Wow.
All right.
Shots fired.
Let's remember, in case you can't, if your memory's been destroyed by eating too many soy products, just look at the thumbnail, and the imagery will remind you of what.
You gotta remember though, they weren't always soy. Milky Ways weren't always made out of soy.
That's right. You're right. Now what they are though.
Yeah. But you know what though? Milky Ways aren't political. So
No, everything is political because anything that's ever been enjoyed must be destroyed.
Oh man.
I literally saw today in Target the Princess of Bel Air, and I was like, why? Why does this need to exist?
Is it actually?
No, it's a children's book that says the Princess of Bel Air, inspired by Will Smith's Prince of Bel Air.
So
and I'm like,
Princess Jaden?
I don't know, but I want to know what kind of altercation that the Princess of Bel Air got in that scared her mom, and whether she was spraying deodorant or spray paint in her armpits, or does this princess not even shave her armpits? So there's a lot of questions I had for this book.
I'm usually okay with not knowing. If a girl doesn't want to shave her armpits, just don't show me. Don't show, don't tell.
It doesn't work that way.
There gets to be a point, Venkman, where you they have to be shown.
I mean, sometimes you don't even notice. She's brushing her hair, and you realize it's her armpit hair.
I don't want to get too graphic, Venkman, but there are other times when you'll notice.
We already talked about gummy bears. How more graphic can you get about that?
Yeah, some things just you have to be graphic about. That's why I put it up as the thumbnail.
Hey, Bats, you social justice warrior, do you want to kick Maverick MX off of the chat because he's not siding with you?
Is that the guy with the Spider-Man avatar?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's okay.
No, see, you don't understand. It's Team Gummy here. We recognize the best candy, but we also recognize everyone's freedom to have bad taste. So we're not out here to tell people how to think or how to eat their candy. We're just
You're right. That's what you spend all day on Twitter doing.
No.
I know, right? 21 messages. It's all about Milky Way suck, and it's all it is. Like,
all we want to talk about is the diversity is our strength, and the flavors and colors and bears of color.
I take slight to this Vankman, apparently you don't watch my videos where I've done videos with Milky Ways, various Milky Ways.
Have you?
In fact, I've done more videos of Milky Ways than anyone else here.
Are
on
they your
the panel.
sponsor? Because I only see you doing comics reviews.
Oh, you're not watching.
Hey, Vank, are you gonna let Fragminion get away with this?
Oh, see, fragmenting. It's all he can do because he can't go on mic. It's bad when Eric, you actually got a mic and he doesn't.
Well,
So he said-
hey. This is not an Englandine stream here. We respect the people in our channel and our chat.
Yeah, what is this Comics Gate where we attack the customers? No.
Yeah, no. Fragminion
Well,
is...
all I know is if anybody called me the herpes of YouTube, I don't think I'd be so quick to take it.
Well, I mean,
Nah, there's a lot of people more worse than
Hey,
that.
herpes can be cured, okay?
All right.
wait, since when?
Well, didn't
It
you
just
realize
there's that freezing gel, right? That tastes like soy products.
Bats, I'm afraid to tell you whatever she told you was a lie.
Who said it
you
was a she, you racist?
Oh,
Did you just assume his sexual preference?
you gotta realize though.
no, I
herpes-
didn't. I just assumed her gender.
Herpes is a gift by giving.
That
what
is
it
true.
Oh God, this stream has been going on for like 2 minutes and it's already degenerated. This is what happens when you let people like Vankman on.
But I mean, I can see why you like gummy bears. I mean, you got all the colors of the rainbow.
You got a problem with
Yeah.
rainbows?
Yeah, where's the plus, bigot?
You know, rainbows are a gift of God.
Yeah. Plus, there's gold at the end of them.
That
I've
is
never seen
true.
gold at the end of a rainbow though.
They're the freaking gold bear. They're the golden standards, the cream of the cream, the gummy of the gummy.
Gummy bears. Oh my goodness.
Would you two like a moment alone?
You know, I'm waiting for the video of one of you guys looking at a bathtub full of gummy bears. It's gonna happen one of these times.
What do you say? A vat full of gummy bears?
Yeah, you guys are gonna be in a bathtub full of gummy bears.
See, the thing is the gummy bears are a premium product. That's why they cost so damn much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I showed you that photo though. I did not doctor it whatsoever. I walked into the store and I saw the Milky Ways and the gummy bears all in one spot.
That's just somebody trying to bring peace to Candygate.
There's probably Edwin Boyette.
You will notice though, and I commented it on the Twitter though, there was not a single actual real Milky Way.
That is true. It was the caramello trash wannabe, and that's sad.
And Fragminion just mentioned one of my favorite candy bars, Score. Thank you,
Oh,
Frag. It is nice.
that's
to
hashtag
have-
bring back Ash.
It is nice to see like mind out there that understands. Bats has never had a Score bar. He's never doesn't know what they are, so he's a little.
It
you
makes
have to
me too.
forgive him.
So I when I was preparing for my video yesterday
You prepare?
or the day before, where I did the taste comparison, I saw the Score next to the Milky Way, and the fact that they were next to the Milky Way deterred me from even trying them. It looked like it was a shaved down brick covered in chocolate.
You got a problem with chocolate, bigot?
No, I just like whatchamacallits.
Do you only like the white
Whatchamacallits
chocolate? That
I gotta say something. Whatchamacallit might be the only candy bar worse than a Milky Way.
You're freaking high.
Did you guys watch our snack video on Extreme Movie Show?
No.
We
I do like
discussed-
that other people are trying to pirate Candygate for their own. It kind of reminds me of a previous CG.
just accept that you're a tastemaker, even if the Candy champion doesn't have any.
Wow.
Man, what's next? Cookie Gate?
Don't wow me, fake Ash.
Our candy doesn't just have tastes; it has multiple tastes. You get
Here we go.
pineapple, you get cherry,
Womp,
get
womp,
apple.
womp, womp,
you get all sorts of flavors.
womp,
There's
womp.
something for
What-
everybody.
Yeah. What
I
do
don't-
you
I
hate
don't-
or
I
like
don't-
Milky Ways or like gummy bears or don't like them? They're all labeled as candy.
Yes, that is true. We're all candy fans, except for to heal him. He likes fruit, dried fruit.
He likes Werthers.
Oh,
I
wait,
told you,
He
even
probably
I'm not.
also eats Vegemite.
there's nothing
Even
wrong
I'm
with Werther's.
even I'm too young for Werthers.
Werther's okay if you get the coffee ones.
Dude,
Those are-
Werther's are great.
Werthers are okay if you've got a wallet full of pictures of your grandchildren.
Dude, you're gonna make
Let's
fun of
look at-
Werther's now.
You guys been
I
watching
believe
the,
I already started.
you guys watching the Fear the Walking Dead?
No,
John on there. He's got the little candy Werther's everywhere he goes.
it's bad enough that they ruined Walking Dead, and they had to make a spin-off that's even worse.
I don't know. I kind of like the spin-off better now.
Man, you
The
Ash,
first couple seasons were kind of iffy, but then like at least you got to see exactly what happened, how it started.
Ash, you're like Mikey from the old Life cereal commercial.
Yeah, I miss those commercials.
Let's get Ash. Yeah, he won't eat it. He hates everything.
I thought Mikey liked it.
That
No,
was
there's the
the
other kid.
point.
He likes it. Hey, Ashy.
You know, the funny thing is about this, though, is I'm the one who was actually on my videos, like, having all sorts of different candy, like the score bar I had on my last pull video. I'm liking all these other things. I even have multiple different kinds of Milky Ways. I don't see anyone else in the Milky Way side ever opening their mind to anything else. They have one thing that they like, and that's it.
No, I never said that.
Excuse me, fake Ash. What did I just tweet out tonight?
Ash, one video of yours is 20 times the amount of content by Eric's entire channel.
I never asked to be drug into YouTube. I just couldn't upload a Twitter video.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
No. Look, I mean, I like Reese's Pieces. I mean, I like Reese's Peanut Butter Cups and all that stuff.
Well,
Snickers
who doesn't
bars.
like Reese's peanut butter cups?
Well,
That's like
only
the
the
defining
only the
line.
people who called it Reese's Pieces. It's Reese's Pieces.
What?
No,
Sorry, it just sounds weird. Go Reese's Pieces.
That's not what it is. It's Reese's Pieces.
no. This girl I used to work with, who was from Vallejo, she called it a Reese's, and so now I can't unsay it. Just like I can't unsay it. It's just like it's not an ambulance. It's so hard to say ambulance for me now. It's ambulance.
Oh my god. You're like one of those people that can't say ask. Like, I asked him.
Yeah,
Like,
ask them a
how
question.
hard is it to say a one-syllable word?
It's usually the ones that sound like Sid from the Ice Age.
Yes, Maverick in the chat says peanut butter and chocolate's a good combination. That is correct. That is a Candygate approved statement.
You guys tried the peanut butter Snickers?
Oh, yeah, those
No,
are good.
Snickers is trash.
What?
Like, dude, like
This is why bad
that's
and I
it seems like
can't be
everybody-
friends.
everything has to be like has peanut butter in it now. That's the new thing. Like it has to be if the new candy. I don't care what candy bar it is. We're gonna introduce a peanut butter version or an almond version. It's like just choose one.
Well, the peanut butter versions is always better. Like the peanut butter Twix is better than regular Twix. The peanut butter Snickers is better than regular Snickers.
Honestly, I really don't see the peanut butter Twix sold around here where I am as much as I used to.
That may be
They're
the
pla-
case, and that is true. It's not sold nearly as much, but it is the best.
Have you had the peanut butter M&Ms with the
Yes.
Donald Trump
Yes,
M&M
and see,
on
those
it?
are the best too.
Yep.
I feel like they should have made the M&M orange. So with his peanut butter hair, he looked like the president.
Oh Jesus!
That would have been absolutely tremendous.
Just have them orange and brown. So you look like you're eating giant Reese's Pieces.
Oh hey, real comic stacks is in the house. That's my boy. What's up, Real Comic Stacks? We're sitting here talking about the proper candy and the controversies around it, and the people who are trying to put us down for wrong candiness. Is that a
So-
word? Can you be wrong candied?
So I was scrolling through Twitter in the hashtag Candygate, and I had found something absolutely astonishing in our hashtag. Were you aware that there was a Candygate before us?
What?
What?
Yeah,
I wouldn't doubt it.
it involves President Obama and Benghazi.
Oh, I'm a big Benghazi person. If you didn't know.
And when I went to go click on the websites that were in the tweets from 2011 and 2012, they are now concert ticket websites. So that news has
Speaking of
been those emails have been deleted.
speaking of candy, do you remember the Seinfeld episode with Kramer?
I do not.
That's the one where he was watching a surgery and he dropped.
That's
I
like
believe
saying, do you remember the?
oh, it's candy trivia. If you guys were really into Seinfeld, you remember this episode where Kramer drops the junior mint and it falls in the guy's stomach and they sew it back up.
No, it's just funny the way you said that. It's like, do you remember the Simpsons episode with Bart? Like, do you remember the Seinfeld episode with Kramer?
Man,
Oh, the Kramer episode, yeah.
Is that where he slides into the apartment?
see, Steve Bankman, this is why people line up to stream with Ash.
I know, right? I didn't know he even streamed it all.
Well, I did stream, and then we had some. Well, we don't talk about our dark days, but then I had some technical difficulties with my mic not working with my PC. By the way, don't ever, if you have Windows 7 still for some reason, like I do, don't ever get a Yeti Pro. Yeah, don't do it. If you're not going to plug that thing into an actual mixer, you're just going to use a USB connection. Just get a regular Yeti. It's half the price, and it'll sound just as good. Don't do what I did.
Well,
Hang on,
I have a Windows 7 and a Yeti, but I don't know if it's a Yeti Pro because it was given to me, so I don't know what it actually is.
No, you have a regular. If it's a Yeti Pro, it has the analog mic connection where you can plug in like an actual like studio mic type connection, not the USB.
Yeah.
And it's black. They only come in black, so you would know.
Hey, Gail Simone has not responded to us. I feel highly offended by this.
For Candygate?
Yeah, I wanted to know whether she aligned herself with Team Gummy or Team Milky Way, and of all people, she has not responded.
Because you're a guy.
Well, yeah, Tom Hanks hadn't responded to you either, has you, Bats?
No, Tom Hanks is far more interesting than. Gail Simone's on Twitter all day talking about food.
I feel like Tom Hanks' best role is actually playing Woody in Toy Story movies.
All right. I upped my volume a little bit. Comic Stacks, tell me if that's more in line with what it should be. Well, it's dead silence now.
Maverick, he's like, I was caught off guard seeing a notification from Ash saying he's going live stream. I said to myself, oh, wait, Ash still does this?
I told you I've had technical difficulties, and I don't want to live stream with like my Xbox headset.
I'm doing it with my Sony $20 headphones from Target, where one headphone doesn't work, so I just let it dangle.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah, I can read between the lines. Ash Stack said, "Yeah, can you turn it back down?"
Oh.
He could hear you.
Oh, why do you have to hurt my feelings? Like, does Milky Way just make everyone mean?
Well, I figure if I annoy you enough, you'll let the real Ash come back.
Oh.
See, it's like this though. If we don't get enough Milky Ways, unless we start getting withdrawals and we start getting angry.
No, that's Snickers because we're not us when we're hungry.
I got to tell you, man. I don't know if this is a good question for the chat here. Does the ice cream Snickers count as candy?
It's far superior than any version of Snickers. I almost bought some today and posted it on Twitter.
Dude, the ice cream Snickers are freaking amazing. Like, I cannot buy them because I will eat the whole box. I have no self-control.
Ditto.
Yeah, because they also do Twix as well.
They're not the same. That's
Twix
like
and Milky.
Okay,
Milky Way. I saw a Milky Way one.
Ash, I'm gonna make a confession. The ice cream Snickers and the ice cream Milky Way, I like the ice cream Snickers better.
Of course.
Don't get smug.
Well, I mean, it's like the best ice cream bar probably that there ever has been. Like, if you would have said you didn't like it better, I would have been really disappointed.
No one wants to eat vegan ice cream. Come on.
Don't you have a gym to go get swole at or something?
I heard that they were going to originally call the Milky Way bar just soy bar. but then they realized that people wouldn't buy it as much. It's Milky Way sounded better.
Did you see Frank's comment? Mars bars, the candy of the god of war.
That's a good comment. That is,
Yeah.
that's good. I miss the old Mars bars.
Oh, I have had a Mars bar in recent,
You
and
did?
it is, yeah, and it was far superior
Was it?
to a Milky Way. The Milky Way I spit right out. It's tasted like I just felt like I was getting gynecomastia as I was eating it.
Now give me, because I have not had that particular. You had like the British version of the Mars bar. Now give me, just give me your honest assessment of this, because I know that they're very similar, right? They're both a chocolate bar. They both have the caramel in it, and then there's sort of like
Caramel.
caramel, tomato.
This is
Anyways,
Candygate. Everyone has to disagree about candy.
and then they both have like a nougat. Like,
Yeah.
So what is different about the Mars bar that makes it better?
Well, the Mars bar uses real chocolate, not wax chocolate.
Mm.
They use actual caramel,
Okay.
where brown sugar and water boiled into a nice goo, and they use almond and egg whites that are emulsified into each other to make proper nougat, not wax chocolate and corn syrup and soy milk.
All right. I gotta try one of these Mars bars sometime, because once upon a time when
Do
I was a kid, I liked Milky Way.
do you have a world market, a Cost Plus world market?
Oh, probably somewhere.
If you can find a Cost Plus world market, you can find it.
Hmm.
And if you want to make the hour-and-a-half drive to Santa Monica near the 3rd Street Promenade, you can go to Yield King's Head, and they have a vast variety of. It's pretty much an English shop, not a shop. It has 2 P's and an E.
I guess if I'm going to go to that effort, I could probably just go on Amazon. So, Real Comic Book Stacks, I have to give another shout out to. This guy has got taste. But guys, if anyone here happens to watch my show on my channel, which probably not, everyone's probably here for Breen and Vankman. Real Comic Book Stacks does kind of a similar thing that I do. He talks about comics, he does pull lists and whatever. But he's got really good taste. I say this because he likes the same things I do. But he also pointed out that he misses PB Max. PB Max is the best candy bar there ever was, period. And we need a moment of silence for PB Max.
You guys didn't see this, did you? Engleteen just announced he's going live in 5.
Oh, way to go, England team. He's like, oh, Ash is streaming? I got to shut that shit down.
That's like, right away.
Way to go. Sat here and waited all night for England team to stream, and I was like, oh, fuck it, I'm going to go on myself.
You're going to lose Frank Minion. He's going to I'm going to watch Engleteen.
Yeah, probably. That's all right.
Well, I don't know. It doesn't cost Frag anything to be here.
I know, right?
That's true. I'm just honored to have Frag for as long as I did. Like that suck up.
I still don't even know what a Frag Minion is.
Frag Minion, he's a guy. He's in our chat right now.
Hey, what's up, man? I don't know what you
Probably
are.
watches your channel and you're sitting here like dissing him and shit.
If you are
unsubscribe.
He's like
goes down to 319.
So Quark said, "Okay, I'm going to England."
Oh. Oh. Well, I guess you don't need that blue wrench anymore, do you, Quirks?
Well, as his topic, he said his topic on Twitter he posted. He says like it's supposed to be talking about the Candygate drama.
He's doing what? I couldn't understand a word you said.
He's gonna talk about the Candygate drama. He just posted it on his Twitter.
Oh fuck! Now we're really gonna lose everyone. Thanks, Vankman.
Hey, I didn't say. I'm just letting you know that he's gonna be streaming. He's gonna start stealing people. You're gonna be like, look, where my 4 people go?
Yeah, what? Why don't we just get England team to come on my stream?
That's what I was trying to tell you.
Why don't you tell him you're his buddy?
Yeah, you have a blue wrench. A blue one.
Yeah. Not a.
I think you want super chats. That's why.
Oh well, that's true. I can't offer him super chats. But what I can offer is the best candy assessment in the world. For those of you that like flavor, remember gummy bears, and accept no substitutes. Black Forest is the best.
It's false.
Good. Here comes some infighting.
I just left a message on his tweet. Watch, you'll probably ignore me though.
Hey, speaking of all the Comicsgate drama, what is everyone's take been on what's going on like the past couple days?
Nothing will change.
Ado about nothing.
Much ado about nothing. So
The drama?
yeah.
Apparently, there was, from what we saw, there was leaked, and this is a rumor because EVS even posted himself. Some more campaign guys were talking about doxing people, and they're saying like, they're laughing, ha. You know what's funny is that EVS is gonna get blamed for this. Whether he's no part of it whatsoever, and that's what he said. Screw work campaign.
No, that's not what he said. he said some bad words.
Yeah. I'm toning it down though. But
Well, okay. So my question though is what's your take on it? Not
take.
I think everyone kind of knows a little bit about what happened. I'm just wondering how you feel. Like
we're just all laughing because we knew Comicsgate was over as soon as it became about the creator more than it was the consumer.
Right. So I had a little bit of a discourse. I don't know how many people follow me on Twitter or even cared or whatnot. It didn't really generate any traction, but I had this discourse with Edwin Boyette on Twitter that lasted
Today?
No, it was like last week or middle of last week, several days ago. On Twitter, right before it blew up with War Campaign, right before he denounced War Campaign. It was like the day leading up to that. I had some discourse with him where I had called him out and said, what's the deal? I thought you were a Christian. Like, you're sitting here hanging out with all these people that are trashing other people and denouncing Christianity, like all this stuff. And I got in this big discourse with him. And
Eric, be quiet.
Jesus, cat.
He's part of the show. You have to just accept it.
All right, let's.
Did we lose Eric? Okay, still there.
So I had talked with Edwin, and we resolved things in DMs and stuff, and it worked out really good, I thought. But I didn't expect all this other shit to happen like afterwards, because I did expect right after Edwin denounced War Campaign, I was like, oh, here it comes, because they can't let anyone walk away. They're a total cult. And then last night, I guess, the shit went down. I came onto Twitter like at midnight, and I was like, what the hell was going on? Like, I hadn't been on Twitter for like 8 hours. And in the matter of that time, like, EVS is making a stream about shit and calling out War Campaign. And I was like, yep, it was only a matter of time until War Campaign ran out of enemies, and they was going to have to butt heads with EVS himself.
I don't know. I never really called it Comicsgate. I thought Comicsgate died back in November when they had the whole debate with Unranked Chevron and stuff.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. It's a matter of semantics. It's difficult at this point because they've stolen that name. I tried pushing the name Neo Comicsgate because I wanted to differentiate between the two, and it's caught on with a few people, but
it's actually like a slur to the creators.
Yeah.
At this point,
Ethan
does not like it. Yeah, Ethan does not like it.
But honestly, I didn't mean it towards Ethan per se. I meant it towards just the idea of the movement. Like, it's not meant to tell someone like I'm trying to make a slur against you. I'm trying to differentiate between the original movement, the idea, which was consumers rebelling against speaking out against terrible comics and putting politics into them and all the shit that we all know, and then also professionals acting unprofessional. That was the original idea, and it transcending, not transcending, that's not the right word, like it mutating into this new idea of like, we're gonna have this new counter industry of comics and indie comics, and it's not the same thing. Like, a lot of people who were Comicsgate transitioned over, but that doesn't make the new thing also Comicsgate just because you had a lot of the same quote unquote membership. So I wanted to differentiate between those two ideas. Yeah, but Neo Comicsgate doesn't sell comics, unfortunately.
Yeah. So we could all agree that Candygate will die when we all become once we pull away from the candy industry and start forming our own independent candy through Indiegogo.
So I see what Engleton did. He brought in Popefire and Speedy to try and bring the youth to his channel.
Popefire and who?
Speedy?
Oh, I don't know who that is.
He's always on Popefire's channel.
The trusty sidekick.
Yeah, is it Trusty Sidekick? Well, he has a Speedy with the red of the bow and arrow.
No, I know who that character is, but not the.
I don't know the name. I thought it was Speedy because she always calls him Speedy, and Popefire does.
Oh.
And he pulled half our audience too.
I know, right?
We
Maverick's
lost
over there
everyone.
too. Traitor.
That's all right. Comics Quirks wants to know where his invite is. Does someone want to tell him about the Candygate channel that he's a member of that he doesn't ever participate in?
That's where I found it. There was no saying nobody can come in.
No, it was there for everyone.
Hey, you might as well come on, Quirks, and then we can probably just take it to Discord because we won't have anybody else watching.
What are you talking about? We got Comic Stacks. Maybe. Yeah, there you go.
He's important to Ash's watch time.
Dude. My watch time is actually pretty good.
Well, yeah, your videos are fucking 9 minutes long or 90 minutes long.
Everyone makes fun of me and my own videos. I just watched a fucking 3-hour Wes stream.
Eric,
No
you
one
want to
makes fun of those.
Dalton's over there now.
What's that?
Dalton's in the chat over there.
We're on
He's in the chat. He's not on there talking about.
No, he's on the panel. But he's in the
Of
chat.
course. I was He's talking about how Sandman is the greatest thing since freaking gummy bears.
He's on a record. He only said one word.
I feel like look at Fragminion is still with us. Look at how that's awesome. I feel like Venkman is just itching to go over to Englandine stream. Like it's like he's just eyeing the door.
Not on the door, no. I'm just curious to see what they're actually talking about over there. What's so important over there that he couldn't join our stream?
Oh, I saw Fragminion was here, but I didn't read what he said. So now I'm like, yeah, Fragminion. Oh, he just said later, you losers.
Yeah, later, you losers.
Thanks, buddy.
Stax says he's dropping his gark.
Well, we should have said
Number 7.
Say hi to Englantine.
Wow. Jeez. All right, Frag. Good seeing you.
He's gonna go spend money over. That's why.
So Eric says he's dropping his Guardians of the Galaxy 7 video, and his House of X has to wait until tomorrow. We were talking about House of X right before we did this stream, so maybe it's a good time to get back to that conversation because I liked what we were talking about, and I didn't get to participate on Wes's stream today. Either did Eric Breen, or Venkman for that matter. So,
or Quirks.
Or
No, I
Quirks.
did not.
Did Quirks join in?
Yes.
I did.
Oh, look at that. What's going on, Quirks?
How you doing, guys?
All right. So if we're going to talk about House of X, Quirks, you have to rein in your animosity because I know it's a very sensitive subject for you.
Hey, I want to apologize.
It's only the soy. It's the soy from the Milky Ways. It causes mood swings.
Yeah. That's...
No, the
What
book was
what
good.
caused yours then, Bats?
The book was good.
Stax, he thinks we're gatekeeping. We're not.
You guys are gatekeeping this stream. Comic Stacks. Oh, well, is Comic Stacks not part of Candygate?
He is. He's Team Gummy. Even
but
Halfstack
is he?
is
Did
Team
you add
Gummy.
him to the Candygate DM list?
He's in there, yeah.
He,
All right.
he's already proclaimed that we're into Neo Candygate.
Well, Comic Stacks,
It was
If you-
bound to happen.
If you are part of the Candygate DM group, then you have an invite already there. You may choose to accept it or make us feel good by being in the chat, or both, or whatever. It's fine. This is just sort of a bullshit stream that I started up because I was talking to my boy Breen here, and then Bats came on, and on a Discord channel. And right before Bats came on, I was talking to Breen, and I was like, we just need to stream, because Breen and I have been talking behind the scenes before, and I was like, I just got my mic fixed today. I want to just get on and like do it for a test drive and see, because I miss streaming. and I didn't know if I was ever going to be able to fix my mic, because the last time this happened, it took me like a whole weekend, and I was like, I don't even remember what I did. I got lucky. And this time it actually turned out to be pretty quick once I sat down and did it. But we were talking about House of X, and I was saying that Bats on Wes's live stream today, even though he hadn't read the book, in my opinion, hit the nail kind of the most on the head. I disagreed a little bit of things what he said, but that's fine. I mean, not everyone thinks exactly alike. But it was interesting that my opinion and his were the most similar, being that he didn't even read the book. So
That makes me feel like you didn't read the book either.
see what I said about the animosity? Not only did I read the book, I did 3 cuts of my video because I had such difficulty trying to put my mind together about this book.
So there's a part in your video where you said it was weird. You said this book is literally just weird. And so I was like, that's Hickman. He does the weird. All he does is do what he wants to do, doesn't care if people understand it. And then once it comes along together, people then understand it.
Well,
His book always starts off weird.
Okay, well, that's fine. Like I said in my review, 6 issues down the road, if everything gets revealed and it makes all sorts of sense, I might come back to this book and look at it and say, oh, this was cool. But as of right now, I don't...
Jimmy, can I give you my take on it from one who hasn't read it, and just as a comic book customer who flips through, the hottest book of the year, and at any given time, like, oh, everyone's talking about this before it comes out. Let me flip through it, see if it catches my interest. As you probably know, I'm kind of a person who looks at the last page, and so right, I always do that because even if it's a big spoiler, I want to see how it got there. Excuse me. So when I said that I was like, oh, let me see the last page. My buddy who owns the shop goes, oh, there's nothing there. I'm like, what is it, a blank page? And he's like, no, you'll see. And I open it, and it's like a bunch of like gobbledygook of like, we're so freaking awesome here. Like we did it. We've reached the heavens of X-Men. Self-congratulating nonsense at the end. But then when I find the last page of story, what do I find? I find a freaking graph. I'm like, what the hell is this? What is this?
Language.
Is this a SJW Kickstarter campaign? They're going to tell you how they're not going to make any profit? What is this? And then I flip through the book, and not only do I see a freaking pastel color palette throughout the book, which is a very female-centric book, but then I just flip through it, and then there's multiple graphs throughout the book. And then I start to look at it. I'm like, what the hell is this? They're like, oh, well, it's Hickman. He's setting up this world about pharmaceuticals. And I'm like, I just want to read about the X-Men. Why do I need to read about graphs and pharmaceuticals? This is stupid. Now, just on that level, no, let me finish. The fact that the imagery and the lack thereof a visual story being told, because it's boggled up with pretentious nonsense like graphs in there. Go, oh, well, Hickman does this in his indie books. Okay, well, you're not playing in the indie, you're not playing in the indie ball game anymore. You're playing with Marvel's most franchise number one selling book of all time, the thing that made Marvel who they were in the 90s, and people just want to get back to that. And you're giving me Easter palette colors, and you're giving me lack of continuity by messing with the lettering that's only in the Ultimate Universe, and then you're having graphs. This just instantly turns me off as a customer. Not only is the book $6, but there's nothing whatsoever that catches my interest. I was like, oh, the Fantastic Four's in here, and then I see the Thing get beat up. I'm like, this is stupid, right? And I'm just like, this is dumb.
Can I explain to you some stuff?
I'm just telling you, this is a book. Like, you can tell me how great it is. I heard it on on Wes's live stream. There's no way at this point that I'm going to be convinced that I should buy this book at the $5.99 price point.
And that's a great point, actually. It's being lost on a lot of the positive cheer for this book that I'm hearing is like the $5.99 price point.
I just bought a freaking Sean Gordon Murphy book for $4.99 that is far more anticipated as far as I'm concerned, because it earned its credit. It wasn't like we had a freaking amazing book 2 years ago, and now there's real hype behind it. It's not this like corporate, manufactured hype where you use 2-page black paged Hickman on it like Darkseid is. It's just Hickman, just saying just one word or one name across 2 pages. It's not manufactured hype. Sean Gordon Murphy has been nothing but a freaking champion in comics and on social media. He's earned his right to be hyped. And the book is $1 cheaper. And every page has amazing visual storytelling. There's no graphs. There's no stupid nonsense. Everything matters. Every panel freaking matters. We don't waste pages on graphs. We don't have, self-congratulating BS at the back of the book. You know what we have at the back of the book of White Knight? Look how dope my pencils are in the next issue.
Hey, Matt, have you ever had Russian sturgeon caviar?
Dude, I eat it In-N-Out and Chipotle.
I know, but have you ever had it?
That doesn't sound like anything I would ever want to put in my mouth, like a Milky Way.
How do you know? You've never tried it?
I've tried the X-Men before.
No. You haven't tried this book. I'm saying, like, you can't say you don't.
No, I tried it. I looked at.
You don't want to try something until you try it.
All right. I'm going to moderate this here. So, Quirks, what Bats is trying to tell you is from a consumer who's walking in a comic book shop and he's curious about this book because he is a little bit interested in X-Men. He's not a diehard X-Men fan for years and years, but he's like, everyone talks about this book and, everyone's like X-Men. I want to see what the jazz is all about. And everyone's been hyping up this Hickman thing, so I'm really curious. And then he sees what he sees. This is an honest assessment of someone, and it's a valid assessment. Even though you might want to argue it because you're this massive Hickman fanboy and you like everything that he does, that doesn't work on Bats because Bats isn't that. Bats is just a normie walking into the shop going, why should I buy this book? And so far, he doesn't have anything valid to attract him or to convert him to be the perspective that you have.
I'd say the advertisement for the book was kind of piss poor. They could have done some more stuff, like talk about what's inside of it, but they didn't. That's the thing I don't like about what they did.
No, I disagree. I think Hickman's promotion of this book was fucking amazing. I went from fuck X-Men, they're dead to me, to like, oh shit, I might buy this book. Because Hickman was so good.
All they did was put Hickman, period. I was like, okay, what's he gonna do? And then it's X-Men, House of X, Powers of X, 2 different series, both number ones. I was like, couldn't they just do one series? But then I was just like, I don't know, it's Hickman. So I didn't like how they were just like 2 books, but you can't have one without the other.
Well, right. That's the shitty Marvel predatory practices. That's why it's
Right.
$5.99. That's why it's 2 books, because that's double the number ones, which is double the multiple variant covers that are both going to be $5.99 a piece. It's all bullshit. And then it's a mini series before the series, because then you can get your third number one. It's all this is the same bullshit practice
with 6 other titles attached to it.
Yeah. Now, the whole Dawn of X thing is
what's that?
related. Dawn of X is all the X titles that are being
Is that
launched.
after House of X and Powers of X? Like the main storyline?
No,
after?
Dawn of X is all the titles that are going to be launched in conjunction with X-Men, like Marauders,
Like after House of
Excalibur.
X, House of X ends, it's like the next
No,
thing.
you're not listening, Quirks. Dawn of X is the new. Dawn of X is all the peripheral books that are coming out alongside of X-Men, like Marauders, New Mutants, Excalibur. I can't keep track of them all. There's like 6 of them. That's called Dawn of X. So then there's going to be Hickman's X-Men book. So anyways, that's a different issue, even though it's related. We're just talking about X-Men right now, which House of X is. I think Bats has got a lot of valid points. When I read the book, his assessment, his assumptions, and his feelings about what he thinks the book is going to be rings really true. Now, I didn't have a problem with the graphs in the same way that he did. I did have a problem with the graphs because the book was $5.99. And as I'm reading this book and I'm going, you did a 2-page spread for a graph when you had an action scene with the Thing versus Sabretooth, and you did it this little tiny ass little frame, and you don't even show the Thing punching Sabretooth. That's what we want to see a full page spread of. But you didn't. You relegated it to a small little frame, and then right after you turn the page and it's a full page spread of a graph. And I'm just like, this is not the proper choice. I don't mind the graphs, but when you replace good comic action and storyline for the graphs, and then you also upcharge me, like, if the book had been $3.99, I'd been, give me all the graphs you want. I don't care. I'll take supplemental material. I mean, I can skip them if I want, just like an ad.
No, you can't skip them.
Yes, I can.
You can't skip the graphs.
You can skip anything you want in a comic book. It's your choice of how you want to read it.
Yeah.
Right, but then you're not getting the full story.
So when I was a kid, I used to not read the caption boxes because they were like, oh, this is just tells me what's in the picture, and I skipped it. And as a kid, I still was able to read the comic totally fine.
Okay, that's when you're a kid. Now, in this book, you couldn't skip it because this is actually very, very prominent to the story.
That's a detriment to me. If you have to start reading all sorts of weird little graphs and stuff to understand the narrative of the story, that's a crutch for writing. That you should have that stuff.
I don't recall, but what was the quality of the physical product? Was it just another floppy, or with that, like, with bleeding ink, or was it a cardstock?
This is cards. It was like a medium cardstock, but no ink came off of it.
So it wasn't a matte/gloss cardstock like.
It was like Spider-Man 25.
So trash.
So no, it wasn't bad. Like, the cover was harder than the interior.
But it wasn't a combination of gloss and matte.
It was no White Knight. It was like
so you're telling me for $1 cheaper, I got a physical, better product?
Yes.
Just as a physical product, not,
Yes. Yeah. Yes.
The subjective.
I mean, but that's DC in general, right? DC has always put out much higher quality publication. If you look at Last Night on Earth, Last Night on Earth, there's a good example. Last Night on Earth is $5.99. It's 60-something pages, prestige format bound, with that nice cardstock cover, same exact price as House of X. And it's thicker. It's got like 20 extra pages of story.
See, I like the start of this Twilight Knight better than the last one, but that doesn't make anything different. Right? I'm just saying, like, this X-Men. Well, excuse me. This X-Men storyline is way better than what they've been doing in the past.
But that's like saying, I went from taking diarrhea to having solid shit.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that I said, it shouldn't diminish the fact that Quarks liked it. I mean,
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, I'm saying as a customer, there's no way they're gonna, no one or company can sell me on this product at
No,
this point.
that's I totally get that. And I agree. I mean, I watched all 3 parts of Ash's video, and I came out of that saying I have even less interest in it than I did when he started. I mean, I watched
Yeah,
I watched
negative
Jimmy
video.
also. I mean, I don't that's not the X-Men that I choose to read, but at least if you're a Marvel fan and you're looking for any signs of improvement, you did get that at least. So that's a start. Although we all know that as soon as Beat Eye Alan Lee Williams series starts, it's all going to go to hell anyway.
And also
Can you repeat that?
from a consumer standpoint, so I have jumped on the X-Men titles over the years at their new jump-on points. I jumped on at Grant Morrison's run. Kind of went through that for a couple years before I kind of had, housing situation. And then I had jumped back in around the Astonishing era. And then, kind of teetered out. And then I jumped back in the little bit during the Bendis era, but I wasn't buying it. I was just reading it at the library. And then I had jumped back in wholeheartedly with Blue and Gold because I was really interested in my personal favorite members of the X-Men are the classics, just because they're the Stan and Jack characters, and I just like them as a visual and as a group. And so I jumped in with Blue, and then I thought Gold was really neat because Kitty Pryde, who's been a long-time X-Men member, was the leader, and I thought that was a cool dynamic. And I jumped in, and then as it progressed, it started off really strong, but as it progressed, and it kind of deterred me as a consumer, where I don't have the faith in Marvel to not just reinvent the X-Men for the millionth time without just kind of just throwing out a million things, right? When Blue and Gold came out, it was just Blue and Gold. It was to cut the line down from having like 20 X-Men titles back down to 2, and then they were like and started stacking more X-Men books on us. And I was like, well, I'm just going to read Blue and Gold. And then they just kind of went off the rails and nothing mattered.
All right.
And I feel like that they're just going to do that again.
Maybe they will. I just want to steer the conversation a little bit back to what we were doing, because when we were in Discord, we were having a lot of fun with this, and now it's kind of turned into this like rant session, which isn't was hoping to do.
That's not bad.
So obviously, I mean, this is nothing new. This is news about how we feel about the X-Men and Marvel in general, and our trust in the publisher.
Right.
But Breen, I haven't really heard Breen or Venkman. I think Venkman's muted though. I don't know if he's wanting to talk.
I haven't read this at all, so I really had no comment on it.
Oh, okay. Well,
you guys are going full nerd on this, so I was like, let you guys speak.
Well, you can have comments on the way that Bats did. I mean, you can just have, what's your assessment? Is this something that's making you curious to read it? Were you an X-Men fan in the past?
I was also on Google too, looking it up, reading different takes on it. Some people said they hated it. They said it was just dull,
Can I
boring.
give you my take on it?
Go
Sure,
ahead.
sure.
Because I haven't really told you what I loved about it. I loved how in the big first opening page, double page spread, is you have Professor X in this sort of underground, what you perceive as Krakoa, and there's like these pods, and as soon as he comes to the pods, they explode, and these bodies fall out, which end up being uh, they ended up being Cyclops, Jean Grey, and I think it was Wolverine, because just who we see later on. But and it kind of the first image of Professor X we get is sort of like the Maker from the Ultimate Universe Fantastic Four that Hickman did a while ago, and because he's walking, he's in a full black jumpsuit, and he's got this helmet on that covers basically from his cheeks, a little above the nose, and it's the same head style, and so later on you see like these characters acting very very strange, and all these characters seem like the X-Men seem like they're actually the bad guys, because they're like, we're not going to take shit from the humans anymore, because we're going to be the dominant species later on. In about 20 years we're going to be the dominant species. But if they um, if they recognize that Krakoa and us humans living on us mutants living on Krakoa are a country, then we'll give you like these plants. One plant is gives the humans another 5 years to live. Another plant is a gateway that you plant. It creates a portal to Krakoa only for mutants to walk through. And another one is a most adaptive antibiotic that kills all diseases in the brain.
So
And that,
I just had a real quick question about this. Reading it. I'm actually on online looking at it. So these aren't your normal X Men. These are clones. So,
oh,
so
they without a doubt, even though they don't say it in the book, you look at the very opening page,
yeah,
and then after that, how they act and what they do, you can go, these either are a weird version of our X-Men, or they're just not the X-Men.
because I was looking at it. This looks like the ultimate version of Reed Richards.
Exactly, it looks like the Maker.
Yep.
Well, and I've been saying, and I'm going to be the one who called this shenanigans from the get-go, and it can be traced back to Wes's thing, is this is the ultimate universe because of the lettering.
Right, and I was going to say that later on. The Ultimate Universe, their lettering for word bubbles and text boxes were all lowercase, and the 616 universe are all uppercase. And whenever Professor X or the Maker or whoever it is speaks, it's always lowercase. So we know it's the Ultimate Universe thing.
They also look like there's an italics.
Yes, there is.
Now, here, let me say something. From a consumer standpoint, the thing that everyone is excited about is literally one of like the things that is pulling me away from modern comics, and that is the good guys are the bad guys.
Because
And I'm
this
so over this. Like I've had long discussions with a good friend of mine about the whole direction with Batman and how every Batman villain is essentially Batman being a butthole to someone, and now they need to seek revenge, right?
Well, what if?
And
Well,
let me finish.
villain,
Let me finish. So, all the good guys are turning into bad guys, and it's getting old. Like, so if you're telling me that the X-Men are becoming like these weird Puritan dictators who are like, we're gonna just
they're
screw
not
off over.
becoming. They just aren't them.
They're like, we're the new gods. Like, no, dude, that's like it's so far from the concept of X-Men. How Charles' idea of the team was to protect humanity from those who will do it evil, whether it be mutant or alien or even humans themselves, was to protect the humans. And now they're just like so disgruntled from the mission that they're gonna just team up with the villain and blur the lines of right and wrong. And it's like, as a Christian, there's righteousness, and there's wickedness. There is no blurred line. And when it comes to superhero comics, once you start blending those lines together, you really start to deconstruct the heroes and start to like lose the magic of what makes them inspirational and aspirational.
Which I
You-
totally understand. Like, I see your point of view. I see that you don't like the heroes becoming the villains. But what if these are the villains and not our heroes? What if we're
then
not?
I don't want to read a villain book, just like I don't read a Harley Quinn book. I don't read books about supervillains. I don't even watch television shows about people I don't even want to hang out with. So why would I want to spend $5 to $6 multiple times
Well-
to buy? You know what I'm saying? Like, why would I do that? I won't. I refuse to do that.
Well,
Let me chime in on this, because this was kind of the crux of my internal debate about this book. Because when I was reading it, I definitely enjoyed the reading process, right? Like, Hickman is a quality writer.
Yeah.
I wasn't reading like Gail Simone nonsense where I was rolling my eyes every 5 seconds. It wasn't like total hipster pretentious trash like a Tom King book. It wasn't
You're
like,
telling me that Hickman
let me
didn't
finish.
say that the villains
It wasn't the nonsense, just loopy all over the place, nothing matters like a Bendis book. It was very much like, I'm in control of this story. I know what I'm doing. I'm telling you, all of this has purpose. So as I was reading it, and let me tell you, I'm from where my framework comes from. I'm an old school X-Men fan. Die hard. The reason I bought comics was because of X-Men. I still have long boxes of X-Men. I have almost the entire Claremont run. I am a massive X-Men fan. Like, that was what got me into comics, like as Bats is to Batman. Now, I desperately want X-Men to be good. So when I'm reading this book, and because it's quality writing, I'm engrossed. I'm like, okay, I'm following this. Okay, I'm what's going on? And each graph that came, those graph pages, I was frustrated because I was like, what? You gave 2 full page spread to this? But at the same time, I was also very interested in the content. So I did read every little piece that it said. I was going through. And when it was all over, I struggled because I was like, while I enjoyed what I read just now in a way, like, I feel like, wow, this is quality writing, I didn't feel entertained, if that makes sense. And as I tried to reflect on it, and as I tried to do in my video, which I don't feel like I did successfully, my problem was a lot of things that kind of Bats was trying to touch on, in the sense that there wasn't any likable characters other than the Fantastic Four. I did like Storm and Thing. I liked all 4 of the Fantastic Four. I thought were right on, which in later on, maybe 6 issues down the road, may prove to serve Quirks' point about the books, because it is an indicator of sorts that since the Fantastic Four were so right on, the fact that the X-Men aren't right on shows that this is deliberate. It's not a mishandling of the characters, but a deliberate attempt to show like that Hickman is in charge, and he knows, like, look, I'm writing, these are villainous characters wearing the skin of the X-Men, and we're going to reveal later that maybe the real X-Men are going to show up and have to fight these fake X-Men or what have you. I don't know what's going to happen, but that Fantastic Four spot gives me a kernel of hope. But despite that, the fact still remained that I didn't like the characters.
So-
I'm like, because hold on, I'm almost done.
Yeah.
I'm reading the book and I'm like, well, that may be the story. That may be the revelation that comes down the road, but that's a maybe, and it's still not now. The fact is, I just read 2 comics worth of story where every single character, other than the couple of pages that the Fantastic Four appeared in, were all dislikable and made me I wanted to punch every single one in the face. And so now, do I like the book? Do I say, well, the book is still good because I hope it'll be good? Like, Quarks has a lot of faith in the book. He's got a lot of faith in Hickman, and he believes the story is going to pan out in the end, is going to prove everyone wrong, and that's great. That I understand. You have that's fine. My
The only
problem is,
I have with it
let
is
me
that
finish.
Apocalypse is going to be a part of A-Team.
Hey.
I'm not a fan of that.
I don't have that faith, and for years, Marvel has been throwing fake X-Men at me, mustardry and bigotry X-Men, Jean Grey turning Iceman gay X-Men.
Thanks,
They have been throwing villainous X-Men after villainous X-Men at me. So when I read this X-Men, I don't have a solid, legitimate reason to trust, hey, this is all going to be different. Don't worry that you don't like these characters. No, right now I don't. Now I'm willing to say, hey, Quarks might be right. And I said this in my review. In six issues down the road, I may look back at this and say, cool, it all worked out. But the problem is, I also know that 6 issues down the road, I could be like, yep, I told you so. It turned out to be shit. So since I can't have faith, I'm stuck in this quandary of just like, and I can't enjoy it right now. I have to wait. I have to wait for the payoff. And I don't think that's a good way to launch your book. And that's kind of the big crux of where I'm stuck on House of X at the moment.
So I have a question.
Go for it.
You said that you liked Storm in the book. Were you talking about the Fantastic Four? Were you talking about Reed Storm?
Sue Storm.
Okay, because I just assumed that by now Reed would have taken her name in marriage.
Oh
And
no,
that
actually,
brings
I believe she's still Susan
where was-
Richards.
Where did Mrs. Gray come from?
That's right. I said the same thing in my review.
I know. I
Yeah, I didn't
watched.
catch that to start with. So what's the big deal about that?
Well, because
Her name
it's probably Scott Gray now, because Whammon.
Yeah.
She's married to Scott Summers.
The girl didn't address Jean as Ms. Gray. It was Mrs. Gray. And I'm like, well, if she's married, how does she still have her maiden name?
I don't know what's weird about this. I've been reading this while you guys are talking.
Yeah.
2 things I don't like is Magneto and his whole entire white X-Men unit. It just screams the devil to me. Because he's always been known as a bad guy. Now he's wearing white.
Yes.
White's supposed to be for purity and stuff. But I'm thinking, and if they're just so out of character. You have Wolverine, who's not grumpy in this one. He's laughing, playing around with kids.
Yes.
He normally doesn't do that. And then you got Sue Storm. I don't know if she's married to Reed Richards in this one yet, but she's flirting with Cyclops in front of Reed.
So I'm gonna piggyback on that.
She's not flirting with Cyclops. I did not take that at all.
Hey, if any woman in the Marvel universe wasn't going to cheat on their man, it would be Sue.
I'm just saying, look at her stance
true.
in this panel. When you look at the page, I think it's the one where they first show her, and she's talking, and Jean basically says, "Of course," and he's like, "And everyone else is fine and doing well." It's in bold, and she's standing there with her hand on her hip, kind of cocked, and she's kind of smirking at him. She's like, just a normal fireworks, Cyclops. And he's like, "What would be life or like a little surprises?" And he's kind of smiling back at her. And then you got Reed right in his face, is glaring right at him. So he's like,
His soy ass beard.
Yep.
I took that more of just her kind of being kind of bashful, the whole like with her and Reed. I didn't take away she was flirting with Cyclops. I'm not discounting your takeaway per se, but when I read it, I was just silent. Like she's like kind of like tee like oh just the stuff like. I got that she was happily married with her husband, and
I know, but that's just the stuff they do though. They don't want you to be happy married. They want the girl to be able to flirt and there are no
And
consequences.
the way I know Sue as a character, she isn't tee bashful. She's a
No,
loving mother. She's
Well,
she is a strong woman who
she's
raises her family in the right direction
she's serious.
and
Yeah.
strengthens her husband to do right by his family as well.
so
Well, I didn't
TV
like the part where
bashful
she
might
said-
not be the most accurate way to describe it. I was, it just looks kind of like she's a human being. People blush, like that doesn't make her some sort of wicked tramp or anything.
Well,
yeah, but
I'm
they,
just,
they didn't need to have her, send Reed to the airport to pick up Luke Cage. I thought that was unnecessary.
What?
because funny, if she was flirting with him, the next
Luke
panel,
Cage gives him a Switch.
in the
gives
next
him a
panel,
Nintendo Switch.
You see Scott is a dick to her, so she goes from smiling to frowning instantly.
Yeah.
Scott's a dick to everyone.
I know, but it's funny, like how they set it up like that, where she's like all kind of like
Well, they're
she might as well even play with her
establishing
hair.
that there's a relationship. Scott Summers is friends with the Fantastic Four. Like, there's
There's a mutual respect.
no, there's more than that. There's a friendship. The original X-Men and the Fantastic Four have strong ties.
I understand that.
Scott
But this
Summers' daughter marries Reed Richards' son. Like, they're family.
Well, yeah, but that's true in other comics. But this seems like a standalone comic where it's a totally different version of them, of everyone.
Well, yes,
So
and that's part
course.
of the weirdness that I was trying to state about the book, where you can take away multiple points of view from this book. You can just be like, wow, this is a fucked up version of X-Men. What's going on? Or you can take away like, oh, this is intentional. These aren't the real X-Men. They're evil clones,
Here's the thing. So I'm gonna piggyback off that. Magneto is I'm not sure. I think I heard it from you on your review, Ash. You hit the mark. Magneto
That's a first.
is when he first was introduced to the ambassadors of the people of different countries or whatever, and this lady looks up and goes Magneto, and he literally glares at her and goes, please, ambassador is fine. So he's saying ambassador, like, yeah, I am an authority figure of this country. He's an
That's not
ambassador.
pretentious.
He's not the leader, and he's also like making himself. Him as a character always says like he's always better. He always thinks he's better than Professor X. So the fact that he's kind of making he's making Professor X like better than him and saying that would never happen.
That's
Magneto
incorrect.
would never say that.
Quirks, I have to interrupt you. That's not true. Eric Lensher admires Professor X to no end. And there is a reason why Professor X, when he had to go away because he was dying of a mortal disease and he had to leave, that he left the X-Men in Magneto's charge. The relationship between Magneto and Professor X is very complicated, but it's one definitely of Magneto respects Professor X highly. He just thinks Professor X is wrong, that peace cannot come between mutants and humans, and that it needs to have war, essentially.
I agree with that, but I don't think he would ever say he is a lesser person than Professor.
Oh no, I think he would. He has in the past. Magneto recognizes his faults. He just feels that his way is the only way, and there has been times where he has taken off the villain mantle and tried to go straight. It always goes bad. The one thing that I noticed about this book, where I think you're trying to get at about Magneto being different, Magneto's actually spot on. He's the only X character that the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants were spot on too. He's the only X-Men character that I felt right as a villain. I was like, well, Magneto seems really villainous, and I'm like, well, of course he's Magneto. Like he felt, but then I was like, The problem isn't that Magneto feels like himself. The problem is they're trying to portray this as the good Magneto. The Magneto that led the X-Men back in the days when they had to fight the Avengers the first time because the Avengers were trying to arrest Magneto. You know, that Magneto was a different man. Every time Magneto's turned over a new leaf, he's a totally different character. But this
like
Magneto is the
good
classic
Magneto.
evil Magneto. And if he's working with the X-Men, then it signifies to me that the rest of the X-Men are like the evil X-Men.
That's what I was trying to get at. Like, this seems like Magneto. To me, like this Magneto seems like he is not good. So the fact that he's working with the X-Men makes me think that the X-Men aren't the X-Men and they're evil too. Which really makes me believe, like, my guess is that this isn't Professor X, this is the Maker.
I hope you're right, because that will make the story better. If you're wrong and these are the real X-Men,
and I
it's
will
gonna
tell
be
you
shit.
I am wrong and I'll eat crap.
Hey, Quarks. I'm just going to tell you that by the time you welcomed to Helen to the stream, he was already cheating on us with Eglantine again.
Gosh, dang it.
Yeah.
So's Melissa Harris and Christy Miller.
Melissa is cheating on me,
Everybody's cheating on us, Ash.
but not Melissa is like, man, Melissa's like was more diehard fan of me than you were, Eric.
This is perfidy most foul, is what this is.
Don't worry, I'll share it the stream.
All right, at least we got Venkman on our side.
Yeah, Venkman, go over there and steal the audience. Get him over here.
Yeah, it's the first thing I want to do is piss off Eglantine, right?
Hey, all kidding aside, at this hour, he doesn't even have much of an audience.
He had 18 people, well, we only had 6.
Dude,
but we're a fleggling startup.
Here's the thing, though.
If it makes me
Here's the thing.
If it makes me feel any better, he has 18,000 people, and we have like a few hundred. So
yeah, we have 1/3 of the audience.
We're killing him.
I mean, but he has. I think he's being shadow banned, so it's harder for him to get more people to come on.
Don't make excuses for Eglantine.
Oh, what's with
we're winning.
What's with the people that says they don't get notifications? That's what I want to know.
All I know is we were streaming first, and he came and trounced us.
But you know, I was going through. Did you guys buy the director's cut version?
Hell
There's a
no.
director's cut. How much was that? $12?
I'm just looking online. I see there's. I have to look it up to see what the price is for it though. But there's 2 different versions.
Dang, Eglantine, not only does he have the shadow ban with all the kid videos, but he's even got Middle Eastern kid videos.
Oh, those are popping up all over the place lately. Wait a minute, directors. Now it's time for an Eric rant.
Here we go.
It's a short one. Are you fucking kidding me? Is comic books need director's cuts? Really? And what's with all these, comic book title season 1? What is it? Television? No, it's a comic book.
Yeah, well, they're trying to
knock it off,
into
industry.
television. Yeah, the season thing.
Yep.
Now the director's cut, I'm going to disagree with you with.
No, you're not.
For me,
the director's cut is $6.
For me personally, as a writer, like I love to see what's in the head of the writer when they write their script. So I personally like.
But it's the terminology I'm talking about, Quarks. I said, I said we get it. Y'all want to. You're all frustrated television writers. But comic book's a comic book. A TV show's a TV show. You can write a comic book like a TV show. Just don't pretend like it is a TV show.
You don't know what the director's cut is? It's just extra. It's the cover is like from like they redrew it from like the original ones, the 90s.
Well, so does that mean I don't have to get this X-Men book until the Snyder cut?
Yeah.
At least the Snyder cut.
Because they have the Chibis version. The X kids, X babies. Yeah, there's a couple.
No, those are just alt covers.
Yeah,
the director's cut is something that's come new in the past couple of years, and what they do is they make a second printing of the book, and then they add things like like rough character design sketches. Like they might put the script of the comic in there.
The script is mainly what they do, though.
Yeah, I mean, it's got there's other stuff. They do like, here's what it looked like with the pencils, and then the inking, and then the coloring, and you could see like a comparison.
I have no problem with that. It's just the terminology drives me nuts.
Yeah, right. Like what
I would say it drives me bats, but that would be gimmick infringement.
nice.
Every comic book writer nowadays thinks they're a TV writer.
That was my point. If you listened to me, Quirks, you'd have heard that.
No, I'm
But you
just
don't.
agreeing with you.
He's,
Tom King, that's what he would do. I bet he would put director's cut on every book he had if he could.
Well, yeah, I want to know who the director is that cut the book, because there's no directors in a comic.
Alana Smith.
Heather Antos.
There's no directors.
Ukulele Man.
Kite Man.
What
Calendar
they should call
Man.
it, they should just call it like extended edition,
There you go.
Or
yeah.
enhanced edition, or director's cut. They're
this
just
has a-
playing off the
Can someone please tell me who the fudge the director is?
No,
I
it
just
just
asked
says
that.
Jonathan Hickman, art by Pepe Larraz, cover by Pepe, same guy. And then it says 178 pages. Yeah.
178.
Is it a film by C.B. Sobolski?
with
It's
no, if he makes
$6.
one to be with 6, you get egg roll.
Is it 178 pages?
178 pages.
I'm going to
Jesus.
Google that because I might get it.
Was that a stretch goal?
Well, most director's
Uh,
cuts are about twice as thick as the normal book,
Yeah.
because they put like the script, and they, like I said, they put the extra art pieces or whatever. But
Yeah. So it's $1 more than in the original ones, which were $5.
What is it? What does it have? Freaking the ruler layouts of a freaking graph in it, or what?
I wanna.
There's grid paper.
I was just looking through it. Yeah, I mean it looks exactly his. I won't upload online. I'm on that website, Read Comics. This is why I just want to see it. Because
Mhm.
I look on there, then I buy them. I mean, because I can't exactly get to the comic book store on time. I usually have to wait. So, but I like physically collecting as well as reading them.
That's right, folks. We buy comics.
Oh,
But,
so yeah.
As you
So-
can see on
no.
this channel, our friend Brash on comics always has his receipts every Wednesday. With
But you know what he
frickin'
didn't
In-N-Out
have
burger.
this Wednesday?
A Milky Way.
No, and this is this is what we need to talk about now. Ash,
Yeah.
let's talk about Wednesday.
What about Wednesday?
Let's talk about what was not in your pull list video.
I know not what you speak of.
Who the
didn't
hell
have
is
a-
the In-N-Out?
He didn't have a greasy box with Marvel titles written on it.
That's like publishing a Marvel comic without SJW tendencies. It's you tune in on Wednesdays. There's certain things you expect.
Oh man, Geeks and Gamers is going too now. Man, we're getting killed.
Can you quit promoting other videos on the
I'm
stream,
not
buddy?
promoting. I'm just,
God, I
I'm not
feel like he's a
promoting.
plant. Hey guys, Geeks and Gamers is streaming right now. If you want to leave the stream,
He's on another channel with another video.
I'm in 3 streams right now. That's why.
The
Voice.
reason we have 5 viewers right now is because you have a picture of just gummy bears. Change
I
it to
know, right?
Milky Way, we'll get more.
If you
Change
change
it
it
to
to
X-Men.
put the In-N-Out burger up there.
I mean, yeah.
I do Candygate live, and then
So
have
here's-
House-
I thought I
Do
told this
X-Men.
story in my video.
You did, but no one cares about Costco hot dogs.
Was that in the director's cut that I missed?
Apparently, nobody
Like
cares
Costco
about
hot
anything
dogs.
we're talking about
Dude,
right
I'm
now.
telling you, those Costco hot dogs, for $1.50, you get one of those and a drink. It's fucking phenomenal.
It's probably infused with soy.
No, dude, that's the Hebrew National Franks. They're kosher.
How come everything comes back to soy with you, Bats? Is there something you want to tell us?
Takes one
It's
to
because I'm actually part of war campaign. I'm gonna put a dick on everyone's face after this stream.
Bats is taking testosterone supplements. He's working out a lot, so he gets a little hyper masculine sometimes.
Got some creatine problems, I hear.
It's not
So it said
creatine.
that masking a soy addiction.
I don't care. Hey, I'd out squat you any day.
It's like you're
Yeah.
500.
Yeah.
Okay, if you're 500 pounds and you lift 500 pounds, that's not impressive.
That was
All right. We don't. Jesus, I thought we were the nice guys.
Well, we were until
God.
steroid boy over there started
Someone's having a
unloading
roid rage.
on his soon-to-be former friends.
Hashtag blame Way campaign.
I was
No.
okay. I was 285 squatting 550.
Good job.
So
All right. I don't care how
so
much
looking
anyone
at
squats.
the director's cut, they have the alternate covers. It makes me want to go back to the Jim Lee and Chris Claremont X-Men. Just the way everything was drawn back then, the costumes are way better.
Well, you know what you can get for about $3?
I already
You
had
can
the
You can
actual
get 2 of
Chris
those hot dogs
Claremont,
and
Jim
2
Lee.
drinks.
Number 1.
I know.
So for
but
half the price, you can get 32 pages of interior art by Jim Lee.
Where are you still paying $3 for that?
Everywhere.
Shit. That's a dollar bin staple and has been for 20 years.
I was just say for like $5 or $2.
It's not like there's not 8 million copies floating around.
Yeah, limited edition, only 8 million printed copy.
But anyway,
Well, I live in California where inflation is much higher.
I
I
never
was-
see X-Men #1
I
in
was
a
just gonna
dollar
say with the
bin.
House of X, I hated the costumes. I mean, it was cool that Wolverine went back to the original one when he was Australian.
You hated the costumes? That was one of the
I don't-
few things I thought was like great about the book.
I
I
like
like
I like
Wolverine, but I like
Cyclops when he
Magneto.
actually has his hair exposed, not where he's wearing the bald cap. I love the 1994 one where he's got the old trunks on it. With
The Jim Lee
It's
design.
not-
yeah,
This may not
I
be
for-
the best Cyclops costume that there ever was, but it's in the top half. You know, they change Cyclops' costume all the time.
and like I said, the Magneto, the white. No, I prefer the original one. The other one looks much more badass.
But here's the thing: I got a counter to this, though, right?
this looks like Doom.
Bankman. So listen to this: if Quark's theory is true, and these aren't the real X-Men, then it makes sense that they don't have the real costumes, so that when the heroes come in and they have the good costumes, those are the ones you're gonna like better, right? You gotta have the best costumes for the heroes.
Oh. What if these are Skrulls?
What if they're scrolls?
I will tear my book apart.
Because Captain Marvel introduced Skrulls, so they're gonna bring it back again.
But look
For
at
the 15th
Mystique.
time.
Mystique has never looked better. And Sabretooth looked fan-fucking-tastic.
Well, yeah,
Number
those,
two
they were great.
is fucking awesome.
Um,
Oh, sorry, pardon the language.
What if they bring Captain Marvel in to lead the X-Men?
Oh,
Don't give him ideas.
Honey Badger should lead the X-Men.
well,
oh, God.
is this whenever
The Badger should lead the X-Men.
I'm just saying this. Whenever I
That would be
look at
amazing.
Larry should lead the X-Men.
whenever I see what's his name, Magneto in the white costume, he reminds me of the Secret Wars book with Doom, all dressed in white, which I hated. I mean, some people really like that Secret Wars, but I didn't care for that. Battle Worlds.
Secret Wars, who wrote that?
I'm not sure. I have to go back and look.
Which
Wait,
one? There's 900 of them.
The recent one where he was in the white, Doom was in the white.
That was Hickman.
Oh, was that Jonathan Hickman?
Yeah.
So is this Battle Worlds? Are we in
I
the
don't-
universe? Patch World?
Is Psylocke still with the Blob?
No. Well, she's not in the book.
That was the Age of Ultron.
Okay, so here's another thing. When Marvel just did this huge X-Men reboot, to then be like, just kidding. Here's a new one.
Well, they always have to have an X-Men title out for money, obviously.
Well,
Hey,
what
Quartz,
should
how
it?
is Toad looking in this issue?
No, that's a good point, Bats.
He's okay.
That what should have happened in a real comics world. Well, in a real comics world, they wouldn't have had to reboot fucking Uncanny X-Men. That's stupid in the first place. We would have never had Astonishing X-Men. We would have never had X-Men red, white, blue, yellow, purple, pink.
They should have had the Rainbow X-Men and had Iceman lead it.
We would
Also-
have never
also
had
can
those. In a real comics industry, Uncanny X-Men would be going on until this day. It's unfathomable to me as someone who's recently, in the last year, come back into comics to be like, what? They canceled Uncanny X-Men? That doesn't make any sense.
Also, can I ask, why does Cyclops have the utility belt? What does he keep in there? All the little pouches.
That's where he keeps all his bat toys.
Why does Magneto have pouches?
Just seeing that.
Because after Jim Lee and Rob Liefeld, everyone needs pouches. Or pouches.
That's where they keep all
Ash-
their little crow and flowers.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's-
Magneto. Rob Liefeld.
That's where they carry their drugs.
You're right. They're psychedelic drugs.
You know,
Yeah.
Rob Liefeld actually put on Instagram a picture of the new Magneto with pouches. He goes, "See, pouches," and I was like, "You're not helping."
Yeah, because he's got.
Ash,
It's like a Deadpool belt. That's what it looks like. At least Deadpool actually carries stuff in his stuff.
Magneto
Cyclops,
carries magnets in it, duh.
he carries little discs, little marbles.
He
Oh.
carries shrapnel.
Yeah, right. But I mean, yeah, because I'm like, what is Cyclops in? He just shoots freaking laser beams out of his eyes.
But optic blasts,
Dude,
okay?
come on. When you wear skin tights, where are you going to keep your credit cards? Where are you going to keep your license? I mean, you need
Well,
pockets.
when you run a country, what do you need a
Well,
credit card for?
Well, you know, he probably Cyclops. He seems so perfect. He probably carries like a floss in there. So he's doing his
Well,
teeth up.
the lasers are actually like a different dimension or something like that. So all he could have to do is reach in his
Oh,
eye.
jeez. Stop it. Stop it. Just let him shoot optic beams. They're crying out loud. He's
It's just-
shooting lasers from another dimension. Stop.
That's
Stop
what it
it.
is. Like his
Get some
lasers
help.
are
Get some help.
like the Michael
Like, the
Jackson
the
thing.
only one
Marvel needs Ritalin for crying out loud. Like, it needs to calm down.
I'm
It
just
needs
saying,
to, like, just sit there in the corner and just be quiet and just do your work.
the only person who should be carrying pouches, it should be the Thing, because he needs a moisturizer.
Oh,
But,
geez.
yeah.
in hair
So-
gel.
That's where he
No,
keeps his cigars.
Cigars and his
What
moisturizer.
cigars?
Magneto carries lotion for his
Oh, yeah.
teeth.
All right, so here, quirks. I will never buy a Marvel comic that has Wolverine or Ben Grimm in it until Joe Quesada goes away and they can smoke.
Or Nick
Yeah.
Fury.
Or Nick Fury. And he has
Yeah.
to be white, by the way.
Is that why Netflix took a dip in subscribers because they won't be able to people smoke anymore?
That's,
You hear
that's
about that?
idea. That's so stupid. Like I get it when it's like a kid's cartoon and John Constantine shows up and he has a lollipop.
Yes.
But when you're a freaking rock monster or a mass murdering Canadian soldier, like I don't know if anyone read the Grant Morrison era of X-Men, but Wolverine literally slits his own throat and puts a cigar in it, and
What-
sucks the. Then he goes. It's like intense.
What's funny is I remember when
That was a
uh,
Grant Morrison?
Yeah, and then Scott freaks out and he's like, "What I tell you about smoking in the jet?" And then he puts it out on his hand.
Dude, that was the same run that Ethan Van Sciver was forced to redraw a full page spread of Wolverine because he had Wolverine smoking, and then they had to Marvel editorial made him redraw it because smoking
Yeah,
is
he
bad.
he's the part where that hole that you get from smoking that like people need a voice box for. Wolverine stabs himself with it and sticks a cigar in it.
Joe's just trying to take care of us.
What's crazy that remember Nick Fury used to chain smoke all the time until they race flipped him.
Dude, I read a freaking Godzilla comic where Nick Fury and Dum Dum Dugan are smoking in a jet together.
Godzilla's smoking in that book.
I mean,
Yeah.
dude, I mean,
He's got a big old telephone pole lit.
I love the fact he had the cigars or he had the pipe with him all the time.
Hey, Maverick's back. Welcome back, trader. I mean, friend of the channel.
We acknowledged that 20 minutes ago.
Oh,
Oh,
Maverick's he's gonna crash and burn.
Hey Seth, how you doing?
What I don't understand with this holier than thou thing that Marvel Comics like, oh, we can't have them smoke, it's a bad influence on the kids. Number one, you haven't made comics for kids in 20 years, and number two,
Right.
you got characters like sleeping around on each other, right? You turned it into like a big sex show. You got characters murdering each other. Like, how come these things are like not? Oh, these things are okay, but like, God forbid you fucking put a cigarette to your lips. Like, what?
There's drag queen members of the X-Men.
Yeah.
What's funny is they always had Constantine in the CW. He always, even when he was in the NBC, they wouldn't let him smoke. When he was before he went to CW, like now he goes to lights it before he gets a drag. She clicks it out, or he gets, he can't smoke. It's
It would
ridiculous.
they would do it too is that when the scene would change, he'd be putting it out, which would imply he was smoking it before the scene.
Hey, Ash, you know what you'd never see the drag queen do?
What?
Take a drag.
Oh.
And I think I say like not dressed like as guys.
You know, the other thing, if you had a female character showing as much skin as the drag dude, you'd have every SJW that champions that character absolutely lose their minds.
I'm just waiting for Caitlyn Jenner to become a mutant and be part of the X-Men.
Well, she is an X-Man.
That's only if they had to do a
He's here all night, folks. Please tip the waitress.
So if they had to do a triathlon? That's what they had. It's what he won the sports for the gold. I think it was the Olympics. But yeah, if they do that for some reason, they do a special Olympics like that, they'll have him in there, or her in there. Sorry, I just call everybody it's now. I don't care if you're a guy or a girl. I call you it's.
You know what's amazing, and it's only in the Bay Area, is It's.
What?
It's a cookie ice cream sandwich.
No, they have them here.
Covered in chocolate.
It's are here.
Oh, they distribute them down there?
Yeah.
So the factory is a block away from my comic book shop.
Are you guys reading the Spider-Man books at all? Like the Fantastic Four Spider-Man?
Hold on. I think Bats was making a point about it's.
Oh, they're just amazing.
Oh, they're pretty good.
He kept saying,
Hey,
there's
Chillmonger.
a Spider-Man Fantastic Four book?
Yeah, there's like 4 issues now apparently.
What?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm looking at this. This is from 2007.
fucking Vankman. I don't actually go to the comic book store. I just pull my comics online.
In a year, I haven't stepped in there because I got sick of it. All it was is this SJW stuff. I mainly read Spider-Man, and then Spider-Man became a big SJW.
Well, you should follow my channel because I read the good books, and I will steer you right.
So I slowly got back into reading. I've been reading. I picked up Life Story.
Oh yeah, Life Story.
Isn't it great how he's a terrible father and he beats his wife?
Does not.
It's implied.
No, it's
implied.
Not.
Sure, it is.
No,
who beats their wife?
Peter Parker.
No, he doesn't.
No, he doesn't.
He in the original comics, yeah, he slapped her because and that was it. Because that was who was writing that. But then it was like totally changed once that guy got fired or left.
Well, that was when the world was closing in on him, and he just found out he was the clone, and that whole the less said about that.
Yeah,
that particular clone storyline.
And I hated that they tried to make Mary Jane like, oh, she's gonna cheat on him. She kissed that guy, or because she was smoking. She was an addict. Smoking's bad.
I mean, look, it's not shown, but that panel is so visually descriptive just in the visuals by Mark Bagley that I can't not see where he's like, his clenched fist is the focal point in the image. And he's like, this is not up for discussion. And everyone in the background is in terror looking at his fist.
He didn't have to tell her twice, did he?
No.
Wow. Someone grew up in a different kind of household. So it's like, I did not get that impression at all.
Okay. Here's an example I mentioned in my review. it's not shown that Joker, our word, Barbara Gordon, but it's implied. And it's definitely implied here that Peter is a terrible father who does not get along with his kids, and he hits his wife.
I do not get that
Yeah,
at all.
all kidding aside, I didn't get that out of it either.
Now, that one panel, which I'm looking at right now, you see the shadow of his fist, and you see the family, and they're all like, ah. My takeaway of that panel was like, we have never seen Peter like this before. Holy
He's
fucking shit.
Like, what happens when you get upset? You clench your fist.
I don't.
But
You're a
right.
man.
My point is
He
this
might,
panel is
but
like that. Like, this is like a version of them that they have never seen, so they're scared. Not, oh shit, he's gonna beat us again. Like, what the?
And besides, this is 2019 Marvel. If anybody's beating anybody, you know MJ's whooping up on Peter.
Yeah.
Right.
Besides, the way SJW daughter treats him and talks to him in the very next page is not the type of thing that SJW daughter talks to their abusive father about. She's still like believes in him, thinks he's a hero. Absolutely is not the conversation you have with the dad who beats you all the time. And then later when they have to fight what's his nuts, like you can tell like they're living up to trying to be like their fathers. No way. I'm sorry, Bats. I don't think that's.
Well, I mean, yeah, because when she basically yelled at him, basically, hey, you used to be a hero. Why are you a coward now?
I could argue the fact that you call her SJW daughter and what's his nuts doesn't hold up to a good story. A good story, the characters are what? Rememberable. What's the name of the Robin in The Dark Knight Returns that doesn't matter in any other continuity? What's her name again?
Carrie Kelly?
Carrie Kelly.
Oh, that
Right?
one.
Everyone remembers Carrie Kelly.
I forget her name all the time, actually. But
you're a liar
I haven't.
and a fat mouth.
It's true. I had to actually think about it for a moment. I did remember what it was before you said it, but Claire is the SJW daughter, and the vampire guy was is Morgul
Moreland
or something.
Morbius.
Can I say something real
No,
quick?
Moreland in this story.
Okay.
Yeah,
Can I say something real quick?
I have a really bad short-term memory, so
What's up, Quirks?
So that panel for the 80th anniversary of Batman that had Tom King and Frank Miller. That same panel, Frank Miller said, "Well, people were talking about how gay it was for Robin to be with Batman, so I made Robin a girl." And now, what do you see in like a couple years later? What do you see? Oh, Tom King's making Gotham Girl Robin.
I don't get where the. Did you just go Bendis on me? Because I don't know what the fuck you just like where you were going with that.
Doesn't Gotham
happened.
Girl have like Superman level power? Or was that just her brother?
I don't think
They both did.
not Superman level, but Superman like. They were like poor man's versions of Superman.
They were supposed to run out of power and die.
Yeah. But they could never do quite the same. I mean, they were super strong, but not Superman super strong. You know what I'm saying?
Do you remember when the King Batman first started and David Finch was drawing it?
Yeah, it was awesome.
And Gotham Girl had the long hair and the little cheerleader skirt, and you notice now she's got the boy's haircut and she's wears baggy clothes. And that's like just in 3 years, how much the SJWs read all that out of her.
Well, I mean, and then just on top of it, like if you just look at it as a whole, like the only thing that Tom King has created in his run is Gotham, the character, and Gotham Girl, which is just so bland. Like,
Well,
created nothing.
How pissed is he going to be when they don't use him in the movie and he doesn't get any royalties?
No one's gonna ever use Gotham Girl or Gotham Man.
That's what I just said.
Yeah, so I'm saying there's just no need for it. They're like, oh yeah, it's a
Well,
blonde girl.
okay, hold on a second. Time out. Like, not every character is a home run. God knows Stan Lee himself created tons of stupid characters that are worse than Gotham Girl.
I don't dislike Gotham Girl. I'm just saying I just found it
I'm just saying,
interesting
but like
that
if we start bashing Tom King because he made a bland character, that's like, come on.
Like Tomasi has a handful of characters that only Tomasi's gonna ever write. Same with James Tynion, right? But when you're on the flagship title and you have this, magnum opus of a freaking Batman run that goes pretty much nowhere, and when you look at it as a whole,
it's not true. It's going to end up with Batman being happily married.
No, it's not.
I guarantee it.
That's what he's insinuating at.
He's making Batman miserable so that he can end it with he's saved by a woman and now he's happily married and it's completed his life and now he's whole. And we can all sit there and have a sigh of relief that Batman has a good woman by his side.
They should hire Chuck Dixon and just have Chuck come in and kill her.
Why don't they just bring back Earth to you had the world's finest. You had Power Girl and then you had Helena Carter. Or not Helena Carter, Helena Wayne.
Bring back Silver St. Cloud.
How about nothing? How about just have Batman being the lone dark crusader of the night and do what Frank Miller said? Like, dude, the guy's happy. He does what he does because he likes it. He's not fucking, like, bummed out and fucking suicidally lonely and stuff. Like, he gets fulfillment over ridding the world of crime.
If we're going to talk about Batman, did you guys watch the animated movie Hush?
No,
I refuse to.
It's different from the book, yeah.
Everything's different. My buddy was even telling me that it's like even has a Tom King tone to it, and I'm like, nah, you're not gonna bastardize Hush for me.
Hey, we're back up to 10.
Woohoo! Like that's what Batman will do for you.
I watched the trailer for Judas Contract, and I'm like, why the hell is Blue Beetle here? Like that was like, it's like, no, I'm okay.
Yeah. Because I was looking at it, I'm like, I'm not gonna tell you what they changed, but
I already know. I already know all the things.
No spoilers.
If anybody's not to watch it, still wants to watch it though. I mean, they had a great cast though. It's just so weird that you had Harley Quinn in there, but she wasn't voiced by Tara Strong, who also was in the movie.
There's no reason for any of it to be ever. Like, if you're gonna adapt, like this, the problem is that the DC animated films used to mean something, and now they're just regurgitated. They're doing like essentially the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but in animated form, where they take the titles of popular books and attach their version to something that isn't what it is.
Hey, Bats. Seth just gave us the perfect ending for the King run.
Oh, yeah?
Selena Kyle will go into labor and out will come a bone white baby with a giant grin.
Oh, man. Oh.
The Batman who last
Seth
one?
needs to write Batman.
It doesn't matter. That would be awesome.
Batman then puts a gun to his head. The end.
We flash back to issue 49, where they've been laying there on the floor with each other for hours. They bleeding out on each other.
What they could do is they could also have where it becomes Dick Grayson's son. She cheated on him with Dick Grayson.
No.
Because remember how they did the whole thing with Barbara?
No. Because that's
animated
just
nonsense.
Now that's just bringing in Dick Grayson into the fucking Tom King foolery. It's
Bad
enough you ruined Batman. You ruined Dick Grayson.
I have no memory of this.
I was drunk. She raped me.
Well, according to the Kingism and Dandidioism, Rick Grayson has no memory of anything between the circus and being shot in the head.
Right.
So his entire character history is erased.
He's gonna change his sexual orientation. You're gonna have Rick Grayson liking guys.
No, it's. We need to stop saying Rick Grayson. His name
Rick
is Dick.
Grayson.
Well, then you won't get monetized if we keep saying.
Or you can call him Richard. That's fine.
Okay, I have to disagree with Helen.
They call him Ricardo J. Grayson.
Ricardo. Well, they could. Yeah, then they could just race swap him. They could make him Hispanic.
Right.
He was a Ricardo Grayson.
And he works for Bruce Wayne. And he just gets underpaid.
Yeah.
Well, Barbara only makes 77% of what Dick makes.
Right.
That's why the blue-haired girl with half of her head shaved quit on Batman because she wasn't making enough.
Well, they're going to do a crossover with the X-Men, that new one that can get into financial systems and
they brought back
fight
Harper.
the gender pay gap.
So if Barbara doesn't like Dick anymore, is she a lesbian?
I bet she is as of issue 37.
That's a double-ended question there.
The question is, which one of the female Furies is she going to be sleeping with by issue 40?
Oh,
That's if
probably,
they get to 40.
Did Nightwing have to change his name to Rick because none of the girls in comics like Dick?
Yep.
What did
because
Dick Grayson get traded to Marvel?
Females don't like Dick in comics.
Rick,
so.
You know what they're gonna have? Rick Grayson comes out. He actually slept with Granny Goodness.
Oh, Jesus.
It's gonna come out.
Did anyone read the Grayson run?
Hell no.
Is that where
Not
he's
only-
his memories back?
Not only
No,
is it
so
Tom King,
Grayson-
it's Grayson.
Yeah, it's James. Oh, dang it! It's James Tinian, and no, it's
Tom King.
It's Tim Seeley and Tom King, and every issue is a bunch of high school girls and weird like wine aunts talking about Dick Grayson's butt. Even like the gay character spies that he teams up with, like they all have like this technology that like makes their face like a spiral, kind of like The Ring, like in the movie The Ring. Right. It's called Spiral, so everyone's face like swirls.
There was one last year where he was still he wasn't in his Nightwing costume, but he was still in like the spy costume, like when he was working for like Spiral.
Mhm.
There was one where he was teaming up with Corey. Is that before he lost his memory, or was that afterwards?
No, he lost his memory at Batman number 55 by Tom King.
Is that before or after that though? Or was that
After.
totally different? Because I remember reading that where
the Grayson run is in the DCYOU imprint, which was the between New 52 and Rebirth.
Hey, Vankman.
Yeah.
John Malin's streaming. Do you want to promote that one?
Nah, it's probably got EVS on there. I don't like that guy. I'm just kidding. I like his character though, Jessica Cruz. When she's not freaking out over everything.
Who?
Jessica Cruz.
I have yet to find reason to like Jessica Cruz. My only introduction to the character is her in Justice League Odyssey, and I'm just like, God, she's the worst character of the team. She annoys me.
She was in Justice League versus the Fatal Five.
Yay?
Actually, in Green Lanterns, she was a pretty compelling character.
She's written by Dan Jurgens. Of course she was.
Yeah, that would
I've
make
heard good
sense.
things about Green Lanterns, and I've read a little bit of Green Lanterns, but not enough to really get into the character. But I read in Justice League Odyssey, I'm just like, God, this chick is annoying as fuck.
The other day, it dawned on me between the 6 lanterns of Earth, you got Hal, John, Guy, Kyle, Jessica, and Kumar, whatever his name is.
Simon.
Yeah, Simon Baz.
And now you've got the Teen Lantern and Young
Kumar.
Justice, and
So,
What was that about bad characters that you can't remember who they are?
I was like, if they were in the 2016 election, Hal, John definitely voted for Donald. and I'm definitely gonna go with Guy because he likes like America beer and he's a PE teacher. And every PE teacher
Oh,
voted for Trump.
Guy's definitely voting Trump.
But
Yeah.
John Stewart's definitely not.
but the Hispanic girl with anxiety, the Muslim terrorist, and the artist who used to work in a bar, they all voted for Hillary.
They're anti-Trump.
Absolutely.
But
I don't understand how Jessica is a Green Lantern. Like, aren't Green Lanterns supposed to be, like because of their will, like their ability to like shed fear?
Yeah, so you have to read, Jeff Johns. What was that stupid story called? Something evil, forever evil. and it's remember when Bendis had the Earth 3 crime syndicate and
No.
Robert was upset over the fact that why are they still alive?
You mean Earth 2?
How are they still alive? That's because they all died at the end of that story that Jeff Johns wrote.
I remember that Jessica Drew started out with she got chose by Power Ring, which was an evil, corrupt ring.
Which is the corrupt version of the Green Lanterns on Earth 3.
So, but how is she maintaining, like, continuing?
I believe, if I remember correctly, the Guardians did some, comic book magic where they took her evil lantern ring and turned it into an actual Green Lantern ring that works for her.
Sure.
So she got special treatment because she's a woman.
Yes.
Women of color.
So that's my question here. So and forgive me because I'm not a Green Lantern expert at all. So my understanding of Green Lanterns are, that the ring chooses you for one, and it's because based on you have strong willpower and your ability to like fight against fear.
So on Earth 3, the crime syndicate, the evil version of the Justice League.
Earth 2, I believe you mean.
No, it's Earth 3. I'm 100%.
Oh, well, the Bendis one was Earth 2.
No, it was Earth 3.
Was
you can go back and can go back and check your.
All right,
your
never mind. I'll take. I believe you.
Earth 2 is where Superman has a short cape and a gray hair.
I believe you.
And Batman marries Selena. That's Earth 2.
Okay.
Yep.
Or your New 52 version where Obama's the. Never mind. Never mind.
It's gonna be Earth 02 where he marries Selena. So keep going.
The power ring on Earth 3 is caused through like where on Earth 1 or 0 now, whatever it is, it's through will, but it's reversed where it's like you can't do anything because of like crippling anxiety. So the power ring from Earth 3 gives you the power to express just like distraught.
Okay.
Opposed to
and you explain this. So my question is building on top of that. So my question then is okay, I get how the Guardians could make a new ring. Okay, that makes sense. A comic mumbo jumbo, here's a new ring. But that still doesn't explain like the reason she had a ring was because she got it from a world where the antithesis of will, like it's like the anti-Green Lantern ring worked. But now that she's been exposed, now she's in real world. Like you'd think like the Guardians would be like, yeah, we're sorry, but you don't actually qualify. You don't actually have willpower, so you can't have anxiety and be a Green Lantern. Like, how did they give her this like crutch ring? They're like, well,
what I've been reading, skimming through Comic Vine and stuff like that. I didn't read all of them, but I mean, I was trying to catch up. Apparently, she slowly but surely starts to realize that hey, she has to step up, because it's either that or someone she loves is gonna die. Basically, so that she unlocks her power. Kind of gets control over her fear.
Well, she ate this flower from Krakoa, and it cured her of all her mental diseases.
So my problem with the Green Lanterns is this: like, as I'm learning about Green Lantern, okay, Hal Jordan has become over the many years or whatever, sort of the epitome of will. right?
He's considered the greatest Green Lantern in history.
Sure.
But now he's a joke.
Okay, so how does Ingleteen do it? So if Hal Jordan, like, he gets this ring and the other old green Saban Nanur or whatever choose, it's like, here they pass it on. He's like this great candidate to be a Green Lantern, ends up becoming the greatest of all time. Okay, these other Green Lanterns seem to be just like, yeah, you're just kind of middling, but whatever. Here, have a ring. Like, does the Green Lanterns mean anything anymore? It feels like just anyone can get a ring. Like, just, you don't even have to have willpower. You can learn on the job. Like, it's not special anymore. It's not like you are this great person and you have this potential, so you're going to become something. It's like Spider-Man, right? Peter Parker makes Spider-Man a great character because of who Peter is, because of his commitment to responsibility and doing something with his powers and the lessons he's learned through his life. He's what makes Spider-Man interesting. These other characters like Spider-Gwen, Miles Morales, they bother me because they're people that just sort of like, hey, I got bit by a spider too. Yay, I can be a Spider-Man. It's like, no, just because you have the power doesn't make you a hero. These other Green Lanterns, like, here's some powers. Like, oh, great, I'm just like Hal. It's like, no, you're not. You're just some dude who wears the same suit. You cosplay as the guy.
So with the Green Lantern Corps, there's 2 per sector, right? And so for some reason, except Earth, who has 3 times the amount, and
they're beginning a new one too, by the way. Did you see?
That's not actual DC universe, so this gonna pretend that doesn't exist. Just like you don't say Wonder Comics is in the regular DC imprint.
It is.
I know. Let's just pretend. Let's just pretend.
No, we can pretend all we want, Bats, but we know the truth.
Yeah. So I mean, we need a kid who has no freaking sense of anything, who wears a Durka, because the tattooed terrorist isn't enough. Let me finish. What I appreciate about the few issues I have read of Doomsday Clock is that Doomsday Clock is addressing why there's so many superheroes and why are they happening on not just Earth, but specifically in America. I think that's a really cool concept, and I think Jeff Johns is the only person who can answer this question. Hey, if there's 2 per sector, who, by the way, Jeff Johns set that rule, why is there 6 or aka 8 Green Lanterns on Earth? Specifically all from America. So, I guess we'll find out in 3 years.
I have a question before I get out of here.
What's going on, Eric?
Ash, you said, how does Eglinton do it? How does he do what?
Oh, put up with Venkman.
Because his streaming partner is Dalton. You want to rethink that question?
I have an idea. We can answer that right now. Ace, how about one of you guys just pop over to Eglinton's video and come back?
What?
It's over.
Oh, is it?
Wait,
Yeah.
what? Are you now promoting his videos too, Quirks?
Wow. Is it over?
He was on there one time for 20 minutes and he's already betrayed you.
I know. He's like, well, Ingleteen had me on. I'm a superstar.
Oh,
And it's pronounced England team.
I think you hate it.
I was just gonna say, Eglinton's his birthday is this Monday. He's gonna be doing a drunk stream. So if you guys want to go on there,
Oh,
you guys get really drunk.
drunk.
Last time I watched a drunk stream, he was like rolling around on a mattress with his daughter.
Whoa.
And I was like, no, nothing perverted. It was just they were just both drunk and like
he was at the you know what, the New Year's stream where he was or is it
Was
Christmas?
it New Year?
Might have been Christmas or New Year. I think it was right after Christmas. He was
Yeah, he was
just-
totally drunk. His daughter was there, and he just kept getting posters. He's
Yeah,
like, "Go get this poster," and I was like, "Oh,
yeah,
dude."
because that's the one where he fell off the chair.
that thing lasted so long, he sobered up by the end of it.
Yeah, right. Well, he was drinking Fireball whiskey, or yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, me and Fred kept giving him.
That's
super
literally
chats.
the Milky Way of whiskey.
It must be great.
And
he's
you
a-
were
no,
tolerable for about 20 minutes, Bats.
You know, he was a lightweight though. He still is a lightweight, so it's funny that he gets drunk faster. Even on that.
How? I mean, he's got a lot of padding there to absorb that.
Yeah, but he might. It's the outside though. The organs are still the same size.
Maybe. Anyway, guys. In supreme irony, I have to move a mattress in the morning, and I'd like to, see mine for a few hours before I have to do that.
Well, Eric, it was really good to get you on for the first time. Hopefully, not the last. And I know you stayed up way later than you had intended to, so I appreciate.
I told you.
I know. I appreciate every minute that you were on, and
And
have
you're going to
yourself
appreciate
sweet
every minute
dreams.
that I'm off even more.
Don't eat any Milky Ways because you might not wake up in the morning. So
Crap, that's my fear that I sleep right through the alarm.
yeah.
But anyway, yeah. Ash, we're gonna have to come up with some kind of semi-regular basis to do this, because this is
Just do it every day, 5 times a day. This is Candygate. Candygate Live.
If you and Bats are streaming together, call it the Breen and Bats show.
Wait, how did I get removed from this?
I said, I tried to name the rename the Ash and Bats show, and my idea got shot down.
Well, you want to be in there? There's Ash on Breen and Bats.
I said they should. I just said they should call it the Bash. They didn't like that, so
Breen's Bats.
Ash on comics.
No, you gotta have Breen's, Bats, and Ash.
I know we could, Bats and I could stream. It would just be Brats on comics.
That'd be fun.
Oh boy.
That's if I could ever figure out how to live stream.
Well,
all right.
It's not that hard to do. It's just
You have to have some breaks intermediately throughout the video because old man Breen here is gonna need some nap time.
That's mean. Eric, I was wishing you a happy, sweet dreams. I apologize for Quirk's.
And I have been his most vocal defender.
I know. I don't understand it.
Only to get thrown
With
under the
no
bus.
mercy for Milky Way traitors.
Wow, did you see that?
Who's the traitor?
Eric, try not to eat any gummy bears. You might choke on them while you're sleeping.
That's true.
So, you remember this, Breen. Now you know what EVS feels like when he put his faith in War Campaign. This is what happens.
I'm done with Way Campaign.
I know.
They're dead to me. Hey, Bats, remember what you were gonna send me?
Yeah.
I'm ready for him now.
Whoa!
Perfect.
Oh, it's on. Oh, we're gonna have a follow up to this stream here. All right, buddy. You get yourself some rest. We'll talk maybe tomorrow.
I'm sure we will. Take care, guys. Good night.
Good night.
Later.
All right, man. Quirks, why you gotta be so mean?
Hey, I gotta ask for one of my close friends now. Okay.
That's your close. That's how you treat your close friends.
Yeah,
Fuck.
you gotta give them shit every now and then.
That's actually most people think that me and Eric are actually fighting in the stream sometimes, but we're actually not though.
Wow.
But
I don't treat my friends that way. Well, maybe I'm doing something wrong.
I treat my enemies worse. So
I should hope
right.
so. I should hope you treat your enemies worse than your friends.
I give them Milky Ways and Bendis comics.
Oh.
Wait, which Bendis comics though? Is it like the Ultimate Spider-Man?
I don't even give my enemies Milky Ways or Bendis comics.
That's okay.
No, man.
You know you're an addict when you're getting mad that Twitter's not loading.
You know
What's
that
that?
we have a bad stream when Eric leaves and all of a sudden no one can talk about anything interesting.
So,
Oh, man.
what was that? How was the Doom comics you got? I saw you picked up some Chuck Dixon Doom. And
That's
I was like,
right. And Bats didn't even comment. So I made this stream, or not a stream. I made this video, and I went through fucking hell that day. It took me like 12 hours to get a stupid ass pull list video up. That
I almost texted you to be like, "Hey, where the fuck's the burger?"
that'd have been
Because
funny.
like
That'd have been funny.
because I was actually like waiting for the video because it's like normally up by like no later than 12 p.m. It's like,
Yeah.
it's noon. Ash just put up a video.
Oh, here's the thing. I recorded multiple videos in my car because I was anticipating not being able to put up my pull list video, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna shoot some bullshit in the car, and then I'll put this up, and it'll basically just be my video of saying, hey, my pull list video will be up tomorrow. So I did all this stuff, and then I got home, and then my roommate wasn't around, and it was all quiet and everything. I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna fucking record my video anyway, and it was like 6 p.m. by that time. So but on my way home, I was like, I'm not gonna get in and out because I'm not gonna do my video. So then I got home, and I was like, well, I got that score bar in my fridge still. I'm gonna do something a little different, because I didn't have the burger. I was like, what the fuck am I gonna do? So I was like, I'll do this fucking score thing. It'll be weird. So then I did that. But then I was all proud of myself that I had these Doom comics, and I was like, Bats is gonna love it. And they're Chuck Dixon. He fucking loves Chuck Dixon. I love Dr. Doom. And then all you did was care about the burger, and I was like, you didn't even say shit about the Chuck Dixon comics. What the hell?
Do any of you guys
Man,
know?
Venkman, I am hated by 12 voters.
Oh,
I didn't get a single vote.
I'm looking at it right now. Eric said 27%. Thinking Critical has got 55% of the votes. Ash, you have 18. You're in second. You're in second place. No, third place. There's another vote now. Eric went up.
Technically, I
Ash
should be
went down.
tied for second since I voted for Eric.
where you guys at?
I'm on my.
I voted for Eric too, and then
Look up Real Dr. Venkman.
I was gonna vote for myself, but I'm glad I didn't because I've been really sad that I realized I was the only one who voted for myself.
That's the same thing I did. I was like, I'm not gonna vote for myself. That's pathetic. And I was like, I don't want to vote for Bats because then when he beats me, then I'll feel bad. And then I was like, I don't want to vote for Thinking Critical because everyone loves Thinking Critical, and he's probably gonna win by a landslide. So it's like, no,
It's
fuck
just
it. Green.
It's just crazy though, because yeah. I can't believe Bass didn't get a single vote though.
Well, you made this really mean fucking survey.
No, I just
forcing people to choose between their friends. What kind of Nazi are you?
Oh, did you see the one before that? Coffee versus tea?
Yeah, that's the same thing.
There's people voting for tea. I want to see who are the tea people are.
British weirdos.
Hey, End of Thought is in the channel. I don't think I've seen that he was in before. End of Thought, if you just joined us, welcome. And yeah, I don't see anyone else. So
Green? I didn't know he was chat. I thought he was voting.
You know what the best part of this list though of who are the best of these four individuals. Everyone in this list watch every single videos that I put out, but I don't watch every single video they put out. So I win just by default.
No, that's why they don't like you, because you don't have good character.
Oh, that makes sense.
I mean, you got 3 days left though, the votes. So you guys could still come back.
But it is true. I do watch all of Bats' videos.
So does Wes.
And it is true. Bats doesn't watch all my videos.
Well, you know what I should have done? I should have changed it. Said who is the best YouTuber? And even though Eric's not a YouTuber, he does have 2 videos though.
He does have 2.
He has 2 minutes of straight quality content.
But Yeah, I went to go look at it, and all of a sudden I got like a real update. I was like, wow, it's actually updated. And then refresh the page.
Hey, end of thought. Thank you for being here for an hour and listening to our bullshit. And I'm sorry that I did not notice you. As you can see, there's not a ton of people in the chat, and sometimes it's easy to ignore the
Oh.
chat when there's no one talking. So, by all means,
Yeah,
type in the chat so I have a reason to pay attention to it. And again, I have my heartfelt apologies. I'm sorry because I hate when I watch streams and they do that the same to me.
See, that's what Eric said. Eric said that's what we're voting on. So then Eric must have voted for himself then.
Where are you
Oh,
guys voting? Because I'll vote.
Look it's at real Dr. Venkman. Doctor is this DR.
Is
It's
that on
just like
Twitter?
it's on Twitter.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think Stax has me confused for my best friend and roommate because he says best at what? If it's arm wrestling, I'm voting for Sergeant Bats because he's
Oh, yeah.
a semi-arm pro. He's a semi-pro
He-
arm wrestling legend.
You're being kind. He actually wrote down beat at what?
I know the A and the S are right next to each other. It's happened
know.
to me before.
Dude, that's my keyboard right now. The A is gone. I have well, the key's there, but the letters are gone. I
All right,
refuse
where's the vote?
Oh my goodness, Quirks.
I don't know if you know this, but I'm part retarded.
You
Are
read
you-
Bendis.
I'm
Quirks,
not
Quirks,
commenting
are you
on that.
following me? Are you following me on the thing? I mean, if you really have to, I can have Ash can go in there and just one of those two can retweet it if you're following them. But
I think I got you. Yeah, I got you.
So End of Thought is asking, what happened to the chubby guy on Wes's stream with the straight cut beard and the long hair? I think you're talking about Jeremy, and Jeremy just got hooked up with a girl.
Yeah, Jeremy has a girlfriend now. He's too cool for comics.
So all of a sudden, all the cool geeky things that he was into is right out the window.
Now he just likes saying the F word a lot.
Yeah, and talking about how he's having sex.
you're talking about different Jared, not Geeks and Gamers. Someone else.
Now Jeremy
Minus one digit,
minus
Jeremy.
one digit, yeah.
Okay. It gets confusing. People use their real names on here. Like, just use a freaking handle. Because I'm sure there's a bunch of different people. Like,
Well, his handle is Jeremy parentheses Jeremy parentheses minus one digit, but at minus one digit.
Well, see, I don't like Geeks and Gamers. That's his handle, so I always just say Geeks and Gamers. I don't say Jeremy. But Jeremy that I'm talking about from Wes's stream just goes by Jeremy. So I'm like,
well, I've never watched Wes's stream, so I wouldn't
what
know.
the fuck, dude? Why are you even here?
I
I'm
can't
just kidding. I'm just kidding, man.
I mean, I admittedly turned off Wes's stream to go listen to Edwin Boyette.
So
I mean, seriously, I wasn't invited here. I just saw the link in the thing, and I figured, okay, I'll just jump on.
that's an invite. I don't know if you understand how that works.
No, because you're like, how the hell is Vinkman sneaking here, pirating the chat?
I was playing it up for the radio. That's what I was
I'm
doing.
sure you were. Hey, you can be honest to me. You hate me. It's okay.
If I hated you, I'd have booted you a long time ago.
Just join my alt. Screw you.
Um,
I'll be like some of those people. They have like 12 alts.
no, it's silly.
All right, there you go.
All right.
So,
that's a refresh now.
I'm not ignoring the
see.
chat, Eric Breen. I'm gonna pay attention to you one time. Get the fuck in bed. I'm not gonna cater to your lack of willpower, Jessica
Wait, so-
Cruz.
That's a hidden innuendo in the message in there. He has quit capitalized and he has chat capitalized. So he basically wants us to quit chatting.
End of Thought
Wait,
says friends don't let friends read Bendis. I feel like I say that a lot. I like this guy.
Original Bendis wasn't that bad as it is now. It seemed like it just progressively got worse.
Was he not that bad, or did people just not realize?
No. After he killed Peter Parker, his career is done.
Yeah.
At least for me.
I mean,
'Cause that was the beginning of the end right there. It's like when he killed his Peter Parker, like he had one last moment, and that was Uncle Ben putting his arm around Peter and said, "You did good, kid."
Hey,
And that's the end of Bendis.
Edmundo's in the chat. Want to make sure I recognize. He's probably been here for an hour or two. Sorry, Edmundo, if we didn't notice you before, or like I didn't notice you. I'm gonna speak for these.
Well,
other
yeah,
guys.
he's talking about the Rick Grayson comment. He made a comment about how he's not the actor from the '60s. Was name original name was
Mankman,
Ricardo.
I'm trying to just apologize for my poor hostness here of not
we all
noticing.
know you're sorry.
I'm sorry.
That's why we're on here. This is a pity stream, right?
Fucking damn it.
See, Eric Breen would never do that. He would never ignore the chat.
He's sleeping. That's not even him. That's his bot.
So I'm not paying attention to Eric Breen because I'm not going to be an enabler. If Eric Breen wants to interact with us, he has the link to be on the stream. But
I think you kicked him off. That's what happened.
no, I didn't kick him off.
That's like...
But Wes, I'm surprised, Venkman. You have not watched Wes's stream, but then you put that in your stupid mean survey thing.
Well, the 13 Critical, I only know him through the Candygate. I actually don't know. I haven't watched really much of his stuff. I know he followed me, and there's so many people I have to try to watch. It gets time consuming.
Well, you can just follow people on Twitter.
I do.
I follow people on Twitter before I watch them. So, like
Well,
Wes,
yeah,
the reason I follow Wes actually because Wes has followed me on Twitter for like 2 years. Like even before I had a channel, just when I was just a big Comicsgate activist on Twitter, Wes was one of my more interactive followers. Same with Doc. And then Wes ended up getting a channel, and so I followed it naturally. And he's of course he's better than me.
I know him as Thinking Critical. I don't know him as West. That's why.
Oh.
So. Kick Ash hard and repeatedly. Wow, it's getting violent in there.
So I just retweeted out your hate speech of poll.
It is really hateful. It's like,
did somebody vote for Eric again?
I did.
Well, we all have to, be mean to our grandpas and then, virtue signal that we love them.
I love elder abuse, don't you?
well, see, I actually say nice things about Eric, and I vote for him. Unlike Quirks, who votes for him but then talks shit about him.
I'd vote for all of you guys, but I can't.
You see my retweet for it?
This is just terrible fucking radio. That's all I gotta say.
Well, thank God we're not on the radio.
It's the same thing.
Maybe losing the popular vote, but so was Trump. He's gonna come back and win.
It's true.
Yeah, he's got 3 days. If he can get a bunch of people come in and just vote for him, it wouldn't be collusion or anything like that at all. I know.
End of Thought says Wes liked me until I started cussing a little in his comments. I've never seen Wes really be upset about cussing. He's a military guy, unless you're like saying really hateful things. Wes is like a really even keel guy. It's like he's one of those guys that's like hard to upset. Really, like you have to go out of your way. Like,
well, I'm the same way. There's certain things I won't say on the stream until I see somebody else doing it and not getting yelled at. Then I'm like, well, then it's free range, free open. I can do what I want. But,
Yeah,
I mean, he's just a real accepting person. Like, so.
I don't know if this is an old one. He said it, and the thought said, I ended up listening to Wes Bats when you and the other guys don't have videos, and Ash when the rest of Comicsgate started worshiping DNC and EBS like gods.
But
that's right. I
you should
became
be happy,
alternate.
Ash. I give you a shout out on Angleton stream.
Thanks, man. You did.
You guys are part of the new. You guys are part of the new guard.
Oh yeah, not me though.
The new Comicsgate.
No, yeah, no. No one ever talks about me.
Well, he was
poor old Bats.
Whoa, wait. You need to take that back, buddy. I talk about you all the time.
Because we were trying to figure out.
You would know that if you watched all my videos, by the way.
Yeah, I don't got time for that.
Angleton, he kind of focuses on. He's focusing on 3 different channels, 4 actually.
What was in a matter of one day? In a matter of one day, it's like, who are the new skeptics? Young Ripa, who has 70,000 subscribers. Yep. Nope. Tristan.
No.
Nope, she don't talk about comics, and when she does, she like just attacks it.
Well, what we meant to, what,
It
it
like
was like.
as. But
we're
here, let
saying,
me
like,
let me finish real
let Bats
quick.
finish.
Let me finish. Like what what kind of bugged me about that video personally was they were like, who are the new comic skeptics, right? Which what England team called before it was called Comicsgate. And young Ripa doesn't do comic book reviews like like Doug Ernst did or Captain Cummings did or Captain Frugal or himself. But we were talking about the guy who talks about, tokenism, and he talks about more about pop culture, as well as the young lady who always talks about pop cultures and Mortal Kombat. And then there was like, oh yeah, and Ash on Comics, which was cool. It was cool to hear. And then and then Eric dropped Oz Chris, which everyone should subscribe to Oz Chris. And then I was like, hey, I'm over here. I'm over here. I've been on your show multiple times.
I could have. I thought I dropped your name, Sergeant Bats.
No. And then the same day I see this Candygate thing, and I'm like, oh man, F bats.
Just remember, Vankman, I shout this guy out daily. I even made part of my last Polis video about bats, and he doesn't recognize it. So even if you do shout him out, he's not going to give you credit.
Hey, I appreciate you shouting me out, Ash.
All right, thanks, buddy.
Yeah.
I mean, well, at the time, because Ingleton was trying to get the thought there, then he likes to talk for briefly, and then he likes to start going on other things. So I'm trying to get in there, try to get people I've just recently seen coming where like they're basically the guys. We're not new, like within the past couple months. I'm just saying like maybe within the past year, where the other ones are older gates, people who've been around since like 3 or 4 years now. So I'm just trying to say that new people there, you guys aren't really new.
My second video ever.
You're not. You guys aren't tainted.
No, yeah, my second video on YouTube was issue 1 of Batman White Knight. It's my second video on YouTube.
And just also the fact you guys don't talk drama. That's why I was bringing people up. That people I see are not talking drama.
That's all Tristan and Ripa do though.
But yeah, Tristan is trying to get into that. Yes,
She's been for.
Well, it gets you the clicks.
Almost like 90% of her channel, her time as a channel.
And that's what made her get all the clicks.
Yeah. Well, and also, going from 500 to like 2,000 in a matter of a day with Zach shout out.
I've talked to her about Renfamous, and just saying, oh, hey, because that's what Yell Flash does, and they just, it's a form of like, I know you're not bullying, but it's kind of gets to that point where you're talking about someone and you're using them for information. It's just you're just becoming a drama channel. Yeah, I understand that with your point there.
Well, it's not even that; it's performance art. Well, I mean, I don't think Yellow Flash or Tristan wake up and they're like, oh, I can't wait to, what how am I gonna get him next? It's all right, how am I gonna get clicks? What is everyone talking about? And you can conveniently enough, the drama always happens on a Friday, and then there's a big live stream on EVS's channel on a Friday. Coincidentally enough, every Friday.
Well, if people were talking about EVS, or someone else was talking, I forget what it was. They were saying about how whenever he drops a book, that weekend or then something drama happens, and they're joking about it, they're laughing. So what you're saying? This is pre-planned. This is all fake. You're just doing it. So you're basically becoming a troll. Otherwise, you're lying. You're lying to your fan base. You're causing drama just for publicity.
That's
even worse.
I think maybe that's why Edwin is so upset, because maybe he wasn't in on it.
Yeah.
So no one seems to remember the tweets that I had. Like, I had this public discourse with Edwin that only worked.
No, I remember.
To notice.
I remember. I was the one who was the catalyst of that, because I retweeted it. And I said, my retweet was, how does he know Muslim extremists so well? That was Rose's exact word. It says, these Christians are just like Muslim extremists I know so well. And
Right. That was Roe you retweeted. I'm talking about
Yeah.
Edwin.
No, but Edwin was in it. You saw it, and then you had your discourse with Edwin.
Yes,
From there.
you brought me
I
into
brought it to
attention
your
with
attention.
that whole thing. I mean, not that I follow Edwin. I've been following Edwin for over a
Yeah.
year. So I just confronted Edwin, to which Edwin, to his credit, like responded back to me, and we had some discourse publicly. And then War Campaign decided to chime in because naturally that's what they do. And then it eventually got into DMs between me and Edwin, and we talked about it. And the next thing I know, Edwin's rebuking War Campaign, and I was like, sick, nice. And then I was just waiting. I was like, now War Campaign's going to jump on him, because if you follow any cult behavior, if you dare to leave, if you leave that cult, they will find a way to try to smear you, lambast you, everything. Like, this is why Doug TenNapel is getting hit constantly. This JDA suffers this problem. Now Edwin's just one of the many names being added to the list, and sure enough, that's what happened. But here's the difference. Here's the difference between Edwin and the other names. Edwin didn't cause any strife between like Ethan and some of the bigger names within the Neo Comicsgate community. So now all of a sudden, unlike Doug, who I still side with, I side with Doug. Doug kind of caused waves between himself and Ethan. You know, JDA caused waves between himself and some of the other members who aren't siding with War Campaign. But Edwin didn't. And so now when everyone's jumping on Edwin, it becomes apparent that War Campaign is full of shit. And I was trying to expose this because I was predicting, as I was talking to Edwin, like, you guys, as soon, you guys are going to jump on anyone who leaves. And sure enough, Edwin rebukes him, which they didn't expect to happen. But I kind of expected to happen if Edwin was true to the same religious beliefs I have. And when we talked, I basically was like, look, here's how it is. So you can either renounce your belief or you can follow what you say you follow. And he did. And I'm proud that he did. And now War Campaign jumped on him. And now everyone has to go, oh, shit. Edwin was a guy we liked and respected. And now we're questioning you. And then it comes to light. Now people are leaking out these tweets internally in War Campaign to try to apparently frame Ethan for things. And now Ethan's like, what the fuck? And I'm just like, yep, watching shit burn. Like, I was like, it's about damn time. And it's weird though, because I thought I was going to get more notice. Not that I was doing it for notice, but I thought more people would comment to me about what was happening between me and Edwin, and it just seemed to go under the radar. And I was like, oh, okay, well, whatever. And then all this shit blew up, and everyone's like wondering why. And I was like, did you not see what happened between me and Edwin before this all blew up? And
I'm just reading a quote from on Rose page. It says this guy said, increasingly phony looking docs accusation really looks like a dirty means of undercutting your comics business by discrediting you. I'm confident you can smack the right bottoms, but I'm worried about how this might affect some of the smaller struggling creators who stand under the WC/CJ umbrella. I mean, they don't look like it's fake. I mean, I guess some people think that was all made up conversation that was edited.
I don't know.
I mean, we'll never know. I just, it's always coincidentally, it's a Friday night.
Yeah,
I think a lot of it has, I think it's performance art to some degree. I think there's just like when it's kind of like a wrestling promo, right?
Yeah, they were also going after well, if you look at it, they said Clown Pup. Like Edwin said in his video, it kind of seems like they're talking about
oh yeah, they're definitely talking about Rumble Terrier.
Yeah, which, like, if somebody really is talking about doxing someone, it's even joking about that. It's not funny. Like I said, I posted this morning. I said, like, dude, it's like, online bullying. If you're gonna bully someone, you don't know what the person's going through. You can actually cause serious consequences. Not everybody has. You don't know. Somebody could be really depressed and
Yeah.
this pushes them right over the edge, and they end up killing themselves.
I retweeted that tweet you
That's
made. That
that
was
is
a
horrible.
really well thought, well said. Needs to be said and people reminded of thing.
I usually get irritated when I see people post what I post. But I mean, like, I had a father who did commit suicide. You know, he grew up he was abused by his dad, alcoholic father stuff. So I know what it's like to not have someone because it wasn't because of bullying. But I mean, like, not everybody is like. You never know. I guess you don't know what's going on in someone's life.
Yes.
Even I didn't know he was gonna do it. You know, he seemed happy.
And even if someone's not, even
Look
if
at
not,
Rob Williams.
even if someone's not suicidal,
Yeah.
you never know what hardships they're facing, what things are going on in their life that they just don't need to deal with your hateful conduct. Like I when I retweeted your tweet, I made an additional comment on it. Was like, not just falsehoods, but even truth. Just because what you're saying might be true doesn't mean it needs to be said. Like if it's done out of a hateful type of thing.
That's the thing. There's so many people who are just on here. They're keyboard warriors. You know, you can't see the person.
Right.
And even Evan pointed out the fact that people are just fighting. You're fighting over a hobby.
Yeah, it's comic books. Like,
yeah.
I mean, when it really comes down to it, like, I think a lot of people turn to comics for the escapism, right? And that's why like why comic CG was formed in the first place is because our escapism was stolen from us, and we were getting hit over the head with crap of like real life politics and propaganda, and like our heroes are turning into villains and all this kind of shit, where it's like, dude, no, just give us the thing that we like. And so we effed off and went over to promote these people who were essentially blacklisted from the industry, and it's just become a freaking fudge show, as they call it. This war campaign called it, and it's not fair to any direction, because it's like, I can't enjoy DC Comics because there's just so much like deconstruction of the things that I love, right? And I can't enjoy Marvel because there's so much SJWism that I have to like go screw off and read like Spawn and Power Rangers and even Ninja Turtles that even has some slight SJWism in it, but it's like it's tolerable because it's through the prism of anamorphic Ninja Turtles.
Well,
yeah.
Here's the thing I wanted.
Here, let me quick. Let me just finish. It's like,
damn it, Bats.
When people need some type of escapism, whether it's comic books or video games or even drugs or alcohol, it's because they're actually going through something, right? And so,
yep.
If everyone has the common hobby of comic books, we didn't just cut. The reason we kept reading them and kept buying them is because we're essentially an addict to like escape the real world. And then when we're being harassed over the hobby and purity tests and who's friends with who's and who's backing who and who's working with who. Oh, you're this, you're that. You have a cherry, you have a freaking WC. You bought freaking this book. You're a freaking, you're a SJW. You're a Nazi. It's like, dude, I just want to read about caked characters punching each other, and like have some discord with some of the professionals acting professional.
Yep.
You think we're bad? Wait until Twitter bans porn.
That's
Those people are gonna go crazy.
Oh God. Those are all really great points. We've said them a million times, and it's just what kind of caused Comicsgate to establish in the first place. But
yeah.
Real quick, hey, I want to get an edge talk. God, damn it, Vinkman. End of Thought
Say
has
your
been
piece.
commenting in the chat. He talks about his family moved from Iran to move 20,000 miles multiple times to get away from the religion of peace. They've been in the West for 40 years, and he talks about he just bought $500 of IDW TMNT. Bat, you need to follow Bats. He's your man on that.
Dude, you gotta read End of Thoughts. You should also read like the Ghostbusters. You're really great, and there's no politics whatsoever in it either.
Yeah, the IDW series is just really true to all things turtles.
He says he bought every side series too, except the one by Mariko Tamaki because she is not good. That's funny. I just wanted to make one back to what Venkman was really saying about his tweet and everything, and his father and that story. Like, for anyone who's listening, when you guys, if you're on public, or if you're on social media, Twitter, whatever, if you're getting in arguments, which, it happens, and we all have our thoughts and feelings and things that rile us up or we're passionate about. If you ever have to get to the point where you're insulting another person or you're just talking shit about them, you're making it personal, you've lost. You don't have a point anymore. And this is the point I wanted to get to with what Banco was saying, was like, because I find myself arguing a lot of different things, but I always try to stay conscious about I'm arguing the point and not the person, right? Like, I'm against a lot of these things that are happening, but I don't sit there and, like War Campaign. I can argue that all day about all the shit and the problems with War Campaign and Neo Comicsgate and all this stuff, but you'll never see me on Twitter saying, F this dude and that guy's a faggot and this guy's, you don't see me. Like, when you start acting like that, you're just being an a-hole. When you start talking about doxing people, when you're just saying hateful things, and you'll notice that all the time. And this is how you can identify who the good and the bad are. This is how you can identify why War Campaign tends to be full of terrible people, because they act terribly. That's the same thing we recognize with the SJWs in comics. How they conducted themselves. If you can't just argue the message, like the topic, look, we don't want politics in our comics. Let's just argue that. No, you got to make it personal and call me names and do it like then you don't have a point anymore. Now you're just being mean.
You argue the facts, so you don't insult the person. Yeah.
The facts are what matters, and if you get upset because I argue the facts, then maybe you're an identitarian and you need to reevaluate your life. Like, your thoughts about something. Like, if I say Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is stupid, and then Bats goes, well, F you if you don't like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It's like, wait a second. Just because someone doesn't like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles doesn't have anything to reflect on you, right? Like, if you like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, that's fine. I happen to like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles myself, but if someone doesn't like the same things you like, that's not an insult to you. You're
no.
Well, we're in that culture now where anything that's in a disagreement is a personal attack.
Yes, I replied to somebody who was spreading rumors or is just saying crap about people, calling people like pussies and stuff like that. You can't handle your pussy. It's like, what is this, 3rd grade? You're gonna mock and tease someone? It's like, what does that accomplish? You're on a freaking keyboard. Half these people would not say the things they're saying to your face. You know why? Because they get their face punched in.
Mm-hmm.
And they're afraid of that. Yep. That's why, like, these are, like, some of these people, I'm sure they're probably in their 40s, and they act like they're 9. Because online, you can get away with anything. Twitter, you can harass someone as long as you're on the correct political spectrum. Your channel, you can keep coming back.
Yeah. I guarantee most of these guys, if I was in person with them, they would not say the shit that they do, because
I'm not saying I'd punch someone. I'm just saying
no, I'm not saying I would either, but I'm
self-defense. I'll let you take the first swing. I'll be nice.
As I've told Ash in private conversations before, like, you guys were all roasting me for being on steroids, which I'm not. But I work out because
isn't that what gummy bears are?
They should be. I like to work out because it releases some of my frustration because
Oh yeah,
I can get sometimes aggressive with people, just in my vocal patterns and when I start speaking, and so
Yeah.
I have to like use the workout to dial it back, right?
my brother
You
has
you
anxiety,
work
and that's
out
why he does.
you work out because you have testosterone. So
Yeah.
My brother,
it's
my
it's
brother works
actually a
out. He,
very biological thing. I mean, for if you are a masculine person, you've got testosterone flowing. Like, physical exercise and exertion is a natural counter towards those things, and that's
yeah.
kind of why men tend to do a lot of the things that they do. And you'll notice that's why a lot of beta males tend to just be softies and sit around and don't do anything because they don't need to. They don't have the testosterone
Well, the
flowing.
beta males are the ones who insult online, where the alpha males are the ones who actually go out and work out and who actually will punch you if you say it to their face.
Yeah.
Well,
No.
uh,
My brother, he does the same thing. He gets stressed out really bad too, and so he'll go work out, and that's how he releases stress. You know,
yeah.
hmm
It's exercise is a natural stress reliever.
it
A,
it's
a lot of a lot of people in the gym will say, "Oh man, you talk, you give each other compliments. You're like, hey man, you're killing it. You're looking great." They're like, "Yeah, man, it's better than therapy, and it's a lot cheaper." It's like a lot of people say that because it's like, what's
I took
what's 10 to $100 a month depending on the gym you go to, versus
yeah
like going to some counseling that's just going to give you prescription drugs and you could be an X-Men.
yeah. I told my brother though, I'll never. I went to the gym once. I'm like, dude, I don't want to see anything I don't want to see. I look. I mean, I just the whole thing with this people like staring at other people, and I just want to happen to just see something that I don't. Yeah. So I prefer to work out home. I'll do something
Yeah,
here. I plus the grossest thing I have with gyms. Here is a towel though to wipe off the sweat. I want disinfectant spray too.
they have that. I don't know if you're going to Planet Fitness or what, but
No, I was
my
going to.
my gym's expensive, and we got
There was
disinfectant,
yeah. This was a
all sorts of
Princeton
good
gym.
stuff.
Well,
Oh,
I don't.
okay.
this isn't meant to be like a judgment of people working out or not working out.
No.
Obviously, there's probably a lot of people. Well, not that we have a lot of people
I'm
listening,
just a
but
germaphobe when it comes to sweat. Somebody just like live in a pool where it looks like a
what are you,
puddle. Like,
some
did they
sort of
pee or is it the
pussy?
sweat?
I'm just kidding. Um,
But no.
End of
So I was
thought
just
says his Twitter account, which had 102 tweets in 8 years, was banned because he said to DNC his virtual signaling is going to go unnoticed by the left. I want to hear more detail on that because I can't understand how your account would get banned for that. There's got to be more details.
well, if he went against DNC and Work Campaign jumped in and just you know random cats talking.
Yeah, but I mean, there's that description is not enough alone to get you banned. There's got to be.
I know
He says I worded
they
it
will
harsh and they still want you dead
dogpile
and
on you,
got me
and they
banned.
will like they do with the infamous or people do. They just get like
No,
20,
I
30
get it.
people.
I've
Just one.
believe me. First, I have been targeted and I have been suspended. Well, I was off of Twitter for 3 weeks because they got me my account locked. It wasn't banned or suspended. It was called a lock.
Do
And
they hack it?
they held my tweets. No. What they do is when your account gets locked, they send you a message and they say, "Here's these offending tweets. Delete them and your account will
Oh,
be unlocked."
he said.
So
He
I
said
looked at the
they,
tweets and I was like, well, these are not even offensive tweets. These are perfectly fine. They send you a little things like, here's our terms of service that you violated. And I looked at them and I was like, these in no way violate what you just say. Like, they're not bad at all. So
Yeah.
they give you an option to appeal. So I was like, I'm going to appeal this because I'm stubborn. And I was like, fuck that. I'm not going to lose this. So I appealed. And then a week went by. And then nothing happened. And 2 weeks went by. So I appealed again. And still nothing happened. And on the third week, I was like, this is fucking bull. Like, not even like a response of like, hey, your appeal has been received. We're waiting. We'll get back to you. Like, I would have been okay. I don't even get that. So I'm just like, I'm in 3 weeks of limbo, not even knowing if my tweet's being looked like, heard. Like, I could just go on forever like this. I was like, well, fuck this. Twitter is a leftist organization. They don't give a shit. I was like, well, I'm just gonna delete these tweets because I'm gonna be stuck forever. This happened last Christmas. It happened. Some people that follow me might remember it happened like December, and I didn't come back until January.
Yeah, somebody said like, "Oh, Ashley Comics is back." I'm like, "Who?" Because I wasn't following you.
And
like, oh,
but my point is that lock. So I've been through that targeting, but no one could ever get me banned because I follow the rules essentially. I walk that line.
Well, that's the thing though. And I thought said he put the word "kill" in there.
And kill
That's...
yourself is.
Well, see, I got banned for.
I never said
12
anything
hours.
like that.
I had a 12-hour limited ban that I had. I couldn't go. I couldn't do anything. Basically, because I said that they should shoot to kill. Any illegals that are gonna come attack you, they should be able to defend themselves. Shoot to kill.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
You
I'm
technically.
the only one that's never been banned or locked. Or
Well,
anything.
Venkman, you technically violated the terms.
I know. I didn't care.
Right. But you recognize I didn't violate. What they do when they lock, see, the whole thing with lock is if you can report any tweet that looks on the surface to violate the terms. And that's what they did, is they found these tweets that if you misinterpreted them purposely, you could see the words and be like, "Oh, that sounds offensive." But then if any human being actually reads it, they realize that it's not offensive, right? It'd be like if I tweeted, "The word nigger is bad and you should never use it." Right? Any reasonable human being would read that and say, "That's not offensive." But a robot would say, if you say if a robot would, if you say this person said the word, well, yeah, then the robot flags it and says, okay, so that's what happened is they locked me. So then I appealed it, but then no one ever listens to the appeal. And that's what these guys do when they try to report you. They go through and sift through your tweets and try to find things like that will, the algorithm, when they report it, the computer will look at it and go flag, and it locks you.
Can I just ask Bats a quick question real quick? Where did you find that Fruity Stripe meme with the girl upset about him? The 30 seconds. The 30 seconds one.
Wait, what? Repeat the question.
The 30 seconds Fruit Stripe meme.
Oh, that's old, man. That's like a 2009 meme.
Dude, I don't look at Fruit Stripe memes, so I.
That's such an old meme. That's like meme before meme was a word. It's great. Yeah, it's great. But...
Like what is it originally? I wonder what it's originally from. Because like they changed things and all. So I'm just curious. So what is?
I don't know. It's a really old meme, and so every time I see Fruit Stripe, that's the thing that pops to mind.
It's like I saw it and I almost spit my drink out. I was laughing so weird.
Yeah. So for context to the people who are watching,
he's talking about gum.
Yeah. So Wes from Thinking Critically sent me the anthem of Team Gummy. It's a Gummy Bear song. You can Google Gummy Bear song and you will find it. He said, well, at least you don't have this. And it was the jingle for Fruit Stripe. And then I put my favorite Fruit Stripe meme, which is the only Fruit Stripe meme.
30 seconds. It's all you can last. 30 seconds. You're talking about the flavor of the gum.
Yeah. And it's a girl disappointed while the Fruit Stripe horse is on the man who's disappointed in himself, for only lasting 30 seconds. And that was the great Tim Lim who tweeted that out.
Yeah, because he did the video or the thumbnail of the Fruit Stripe assorted gum, the zebra.
Wait, what?
Oh, this is super exciting.
Wait, Tim Lim worked on the Fruit Stripes?
No, Donald Thump. Sorry.
Yeah, that's Tim Lim.
Yeah, I see. You guys go by the names. I just go by what their username is.
Oh yeah, he's the author. The author is Tim Lim.
Yeah, for Space.
If you didn't know, Ethan Van Sciver is also Comics Artist Pro Secret.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, our boy Zach is Comics Matter.
He's,
formerly Diversity in
DNC?
Comics.
Yeah, I was gonna say 'cause I looked
and
up
his
DNC.
name
I'm
isn't
like,
even Zach.
Yeah, and his real name's not Zach. He sometimes goes by Richard Meyer.
I always love explaining this to people. I'm like, oh yeah, my favorite YouTuber, your boy Zach. And then I'll start talking about it, and I'm like, yeah, so Richard. Blah, they're like, wait, who's Richard? I'm like, your boy Zach. Wait, what? It's like, oh yeah. Then I have to explain the context of the your boy Zach thing, and it's like,
What are you doing with your mic, Maddie? Are you like talking through your blanket again?
me?
Yeah,
No, it's just there.
it went all muted and weird. End of
Ah.
thought says, just to finalize with this whole thing we're talking about. He said his only unbanned option was to give him his real identity, and as a conservative working in a high-powered tech field, it wasn't worth his exposure. Which I agree, dude. You did the right thing. But what you can do is just make another Twitter account. So,
well, yeah, I've done it before.
and just to
And
do that.
I thought that's weird though. The fact that you can just you're blocked on one thing, but they just come back with another one. I'm like, what's the point of even banning me then? If I can just come back.
Well, that's what happened with Midnight Cherries, right?
Well, Renfamous does it all the time. She has like 30 accounts,
Yeah.
Yeah. It doesn't even matter.
right?
Well,
Just
you
like
are
comics.
violating the terms of service when you make another account to do
Yeah.
that. So when you do it enough times, like Renfamous, now you can just report her every time for having a sock puppet account. Just be like, this is a person you banned 10 times already. Just so you know, so it's just auto ban.
Well, if I'm gonna make another account, I'm not gonna. It's gonna have nothing to do with who I am, and I'm not gonna be following the same.
Right, but
people.
Renfamous doesn't do that, right? She just
Yeah. Renfamous 2, Renfamous 3, Renfamous 4. It's
Yeah, well, I was promoted to lieutenant, so if I ever get banned, I have to make a new one. I'll be LT Bats.
no
Well,
one
since you
respects
guys were voting on-
officers.
since you guys were voting on my polls. Did you vote on the snack one?
I only voted on the coffee tea one. The rest of them are bullshit.
What do you mean? I was asking which what are you gonna eat? Are you gonna eat popcorn, nachos, pretzel bites, or candy when you go to the
Oh,
theater?
that's true. I did vote on the popcorn one.
Popcorn. Do I go to the theater? Do you see? You don't even watch my videos.
I do. I fucking retweeted your awesome fucking popcorn little vid thing that you did on Twitter.
So, Venkman, I just go to the theater just for popcorn, and I go back home.
Really?
Only bats
Yeah.
would pay for movie theater popcorn no,
Well,
prices
it's the
and
same
not
as-
watch a movie.
It's the same as getting Act 2 or what it is.
Oh no, it's not.
No, it's not. So, you need to
Well, it
go
tastes gross
watch.
to me. I don't
when-
like
when-
popcorn.
Oh, you're high on drugs, or Milky Way, one of the two.
Isn't
You-
it funny
you
how
need to-
Milky Way lovers never seem to like good things?
It's funny.
Nah, I don't like popcorn because it makes you gag. I don't like this stuff. And you can stick your teeth.
I guess I'm the only one who uses flosser sticks.
I use those.
Have them readily available in my Rob Liefeld pouchy belt.
You mean your fanny pack?
Yeah. Either
Okay.
or.
It has to be
Which-
neon orange though. If you're gonna have
Yeah. Yeah. So in my WTF Ash video, I end the video with me going and getting theater popcorn.
Like, do you actually film yourself walking in?
Yeah. I mean, on the most of the part, it's like me going to the door.
Yeah, you should watch the
I'm weird-
WTF. Oh, I'll post a link
I'm
to
weird
it.
about that. Like, when I saw you going into like the gas station or whatever it was, you were getting the gummy bears and then throwing the Milky Way.
Oh, that was just on Twitter. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm weird about that. Like recording myself or even taking a picture when I'm in the store.
Hey,
I'm
what's
like,
up, everyone? Sergeant.
So that's kind of what millennials do. I'm like, even though I am a millennial, but I'm like, it just seems weird to me.
So you know, have you seen the video where I transformed trash into gold?
Yes, I saw that one.
Right. That took a couple of takes. Not gonna lie. Right. And because I was a guy with a backpack in the candy section, being really
They-
weird.
That you're stealing.
they went and had to go organize things all of a sudden in that area. And so I just explained Candygate to this person at the CVS.
They're like, he's giving a story now. It's not just.
And I was like, and I asked her, I was like, what do you like better, gummy bears or Milky Ways? And then I showed her the video I recorded, and she was very impressed with my magic skills.
Can I ask why you were in there with a backpack?
I was walking from work to my house.
Okay, because that's the thing I understand. I see a lot of people wearing backpacks at Walmart or Target or anywhere. I'm like, I would I see, because the first thing I think is like, I used to work in retail, so we had people that would try to stuff their backpacks for like copper piping and all that stuff.
Yeah,
So
I definitely don't need copper piping.
I know, but still, there are people that try to shoplift. Well, women have their purses. Guys are bringing these backpacks or the knapsacks, the ones like the nylon ones. They have the strings.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I never want to be accused of stealing, so I never wear a backpack in there. I'd be like, nope.
Oh, see, what I like to do, because I know that I'm being followed sometimes, is I'll start to pick up things and start zigzagging through aisles and then putting things in different places. Especially like with Walmart and Target security. Like like the Target security will like go down one aisle and look, and so I'll turn around and make him turn around, and I'll just start screwing with him.
That was a buddy of mine. We because the Walmart here is 24 hours. This is when we were like in our early 20s. We were bored. We were like, whatever. It's like 5 minutes to the house. We'd walk down there. We'd walk through there, grab something. And there was always one. She'd always have to come over, like, can I help you with anything? Like because we'd go there every from like 1 o'clock in the morning or sometimes 2. Every single time we get to her, and she'd walk up to like, oh, can I help you find anything? And he's like, no, we're good, And she just watched us the whole time. We just look at us. And I just look back, and I just stare at her. I was like, you're gonna stare at me, and I stare right back at you.
When about a year ago, when I went to go buy a computer, I had saved my change for a year.
Oh no, you're not that guy. You wait.
Right? No, I went to the Coinstar at the Walmart, but I was like, I'm gonna go buy a computer at Walmart right now. I counted it out. I counted it out knowing I had like $500, and so I was like, I'm gonna go buy a computer at Walmart because I'm gonna really take this YouTube thing seriously, which I never use my computer for Walmart or for YouTube. I just do it all on my phone.
It was just funny though, because I was just to say, there was a guy, which you could say about change. There was a guy who held up there was 2 lanes open in Walmart, and this is like around midnight, and self-checkouts are closed because for whatever reason they're pulling change or whatever. So this guy pays in quarters or nickels, and there's like 15 to 16 people in line going all the way down to from register 1 down to like 20. I got to the point where I was like, just screw this, I left.
You stole it?
No, I didn't steal it. I don't. No, but dude, I'll do is I'll sit something down in the wrong spot, and I'll like when you're little, you're like, I like these comic books, so I'll hide it behind something another one so no one buys it, So I did that, and I came back like an hour later. And it was still in the same spot, and I just bought it.
You just hid the DC Comics behind the Yu-Gi-Oh cards and
yeah. He used to do it at Walgreens all the time. He would hide stuff, it's like, I really want. So I hide behind the wedding stuff. No one's gonna buy his wedding magazines.
Yeah. So yeah, I went to Walmart like 10 minutes to close, and bought a computer. But like upon going into the electronics section, 10 minutes to close, this like 5'0" lady was like, you want that like right now? I'm like, yeah, I want that computer. And she's like really sketchy about like unlocking the cage. And I was like, and she's like, oh, go over here. And I was like, I want to read like the details of the computer first. And she was like, kind of like looking up, looking for the cameras. And I'm like, I'm not going to steal a computer. I have the money. Look, I'm just trying to buy it. Just want to know the stuff about it.
Did you have your backpack?
I did. Well, I'm going to walk with a box of a computer? No, I'm going to put it in my backpack.
You didn't have the baggy shorts, did you?
No, I had skinny jeans.
Okay. Don't want to stereotype you or typecast you.
I'm a straight white Christian male, man. I ain't gonna
Yep.
steal nothing. I'm gonna buy a computer at freaking
These
$11.50.
These people are at Walmart. They see a lot of stuff theft. I imagine the Walmart here is like they have a police substation inside the Walmart.
No, that's crazy.
Yeah, right. Well, because you know why? Because it's in the bus route, and people are shipped from Milwaukee here. Then like they come here, they go on the bus, they get off, they break into people's cars, steal what they want, then they go right back on the bus.
Milwaukee makes good tools.
They do. But Quirks, are you live?
Yeah. What's up?
Okay. You should see
Did Ash fall asleep about us talking about Walmart?
I think he's upset, or he's trying to silence that cat.
That's my cat.
Oh, is your cat? Okay, I don't know
Yeah.
who it was.
Megman clearly doesn't watch my YouTube channel.
No. I'm anti-cat. Now I won't whatsoever.
My channel should be called Sergeant Cats.
Right.
Where's Ash?
Like, I don't know.
We should probably look at the chat. I'm gonna hang on so.
I think I need to call it a night. It's almost 3 a.m, and I got church in like 6 hours.
I'm exhausted too.
Ash will just be. I think Ash fell asleep.
No, I'm right here. Sorry, I had to
Oh, okay.
No, he's
step
just
away for a
posting the-
bio break.
Oh, bio break. Isn't that a movie with what's his name?
Biodome.
Yeah, there it is.
Pauly Shore.
Yeah.
All right, this stream has gone on quite long enough.
It's like 4
longer
hours
than I
long.
anticipated. So I guess if everyone's got to get going, we can call it. I will move over to Discord if anyone wants to follow over there.
Where do you, are you in? Well, whose Discord do you have your own?
Oh yeah, I have my own Discord,
I
Bankman.
didn't know that.
Yeah, let me pull that up real quick here. Anyone who's listening, by the way, Sergeant Bats, myself, Quirks are on this Discord server. You are invited to come as well, Bankman. We talk about things just like on Twitter, except without all the drama. And the cool thing about Discord, if you're not familiar with it, is not only does it have text messaging, you know, like a message board or whatever, but you can get on and do voice chat and talk with real voices and not have to type. It's pretty cool. So let's see.
I'm using my fake voice right here.
Your fake voice?
Yeah.
What? No way.
I only use my real voice in Discord.
Nice. Why didn't I think of that?
It's because you're not a doctor.
Yes.
A
a
real
scientist.
doctor.
Back off, man.
It's true. I only play one on TV.
Yeah, so.
Prove it.
Hold on, I'm about to type in the Discord.
Oh my
There is
goodness.
the address for anyone that wants to join the server. If I don't recognize your name, I'll ask you who you are, so don't.
How
get
many people
offended.
are in the chat?
Oh, Tehillim's part of the server too, guys. So Tehillim's been a good supporter. He has his own website too, by the way. He does reviews on comics and manga and anime. It's guys, I just drew a blank on the name of it.
Rainbow Press.
Rainbow Press, that's right. Rainbow Press and Comics. So
How
he's
many
on
people
there.
are in the chat?
I don't know. I don't look at that number. It makes me depressed.
Oh, okay.
Seven.
Well, I'm on my phone, so I can't keep refreshing it, but it said 6 still.
Oh, 5.
But yeah, so anyways, I posted the Discord link for anyone to get to the server. Discord, other cool thing about Discord is it works on your phone, works on your PC, tablet, whatever it is you have. So I sometimes have Discord conversations when I'm out walking my dog. So it's really cool.
Do you know what slow mode is? I just joined. It says slow mode is enabled.
Yeah, slow mode is basically it locks you from typing too many messages at a time. so you can't like spam.
Did you do that?
Yes.
Okay. As I'm like, I've never seen this feature before.
Yeah, it was me experimenting. It's just when you join the server, you're gonna just join as a regular new person. And once I recognize who you are, you'll be added. You'll be given a role, which is your
Okay.
name will be in
So,
blue.
I thought you were just specifically targeting me.
You're just calling you slow.
No.
Yeah, I know exactly.
No, I just don't want like randos joining and being like spam. You know.
Well, you can.
Webtoons. It's like
If you don't want randos joining, don't post it in the stream. So I look at it.
it's
Well,
okay.
no,
It's a live. It's a live chat. So once it goes onto the replay, it'll be there.
Yeah. Well, the invite expires after 1 day, so that invite won't even work.
So have you guys figured out what's you guys gonna do for live streams?
We just did it.
We're gonna find a way to make sure you don't know about them.
Venkman just showed up, so we just had a live stream.
No, I'm just kidding. I don't know.
You do them five times a day, all day, every day.
I just got my microphone fixed. That was my big problem. It's been, well, I've been having problems with it working on my computer. Like my PC would not recognize the mic, and it's a known issue with Blue Yeti Pros on Windows 7.
Blue snowballs?
No, snowballs are for figs. No, I'm sure that the snowball's a fine mic if anyone wants to get. Take it easy, Edmundo. Thanks for watching the stream with us. Feel free to join the Discord, and we'll see you later. If you're looking to get a Blue Yeti or just a good microphone and you don't want to pay the money of a Blue Yeti, the Snowball is a really good option. It's almost identical.
I just have the Logitech webcam / mic one.
Yeah, it sounds like that.
No,
just kidding. I'm all being
right
elitist.
No,
I'll see you guys later. I'm going to bed.
Yeah, I need a crash.
Ah, damn it! All right,
wrap it up.
Wrap it up.
Yeah, boy has to wake up at 7 in the morning.
All right, we're all going. This is the end of the shit show chat. Thanks for joining. Remember, gummies are the king of candies, and if you eat Milky Ways, we'll pray for you.
It's okay. I think I'm going to kill myself.
I just ate like 6 of them tonight, so I'll be fine.
Man.
Hey, Venkman, you should follow my YouTube channel. You don't have to watch it or anything, but, the subscribe helps.
I think I might have subscribed to yours.
All right.
See you later, guys.
Yeah.